Hello, my gorgeous group ones. Welcome to your reading. Thank you for joining me in today's reading. Today, we're going to be getting into, since it's the end of the year, right? We're going to do some reflection. We're going to get into the what lesson were you meant to learn this year versus the lesson you were meant to learn next year, okay? So I hope by the end of the reading, you're able to, I guess, figure out if you learned your lesson this year, okay? It's kind of giving Santa Claus. You better watch out. You better not cry. You better not shout. I'm telling you why. Santa's coming to town. So because Santa Claus is like the harbinger of gift giving, maybe you learn to receive more this year. Maybe you are more in your divine feminine energy, where it's kind of like just sit back and relax and things will come to you. That could be one of the lessons you were meant to learn this year. I will be using the dice, the astrology dice, to see what else comes through as an overall theme. Wow. We have a face this Ace of Wands. To have fun is a main theme of what you were meant to learn this year. To have fun, to create without having to put too much thought into it. It's kind of like having an idea without having a plan is kind of what's coming through. You can have fun, you can create things, make things, right? And not have to figure out, is this going to be a job? Is this going to make me money? It's kind of giving me someone whose job is to create. And sometimes when it comes to that or creative jobs, it can be stressful when you have literally too many ideas or not enough ideas. So I feel like this year you were meant to just let yourself just create or sit in the energy of creating without having to jump on it and make an idea or make it something that can make you money or something like that. You know what I mean? It's kind of giving me someone who works as maybe a creative director for someone else, an artist, filmmaker, director, actor, whatever, right? Your job is to create things for other people, right? Instead of you worrying or stressing over what you want to create next or what idea will make you the next big thing or make you money, you just learn to create just for creation's sake, if that makes any sense. And I love that we have the Ace of Wands and we have to face this because he's known as, like, I feel like a creator. He's really good with his hands. He's good at building things, you know, and he's nice and strong too. Maybe you were putting more energy into your physical pursuits, things that make you physically happy, maybe working out or, you know, getting your spicy time in, if you know what I mean. That could be some things like sowing your wild oats, not having to worry about the consequences is kind of what's coming through. That could be something you were meant to learn this year. That it's okay to just receive, that it's okay to just have fun, that there doesn't always have to be a plan behind everything, you know? Here we have the Hierophant, and look at how we have sorry, something got caught on my throat. That could be something. Let me stop. We have Dionysus, okay, for the Hierophant. And it always confuses me a little bit why they make him the Hierophant, because he seems like someone who's a little bit laid back, very chill. And I understand it in the sake of the Hierophant represents Taurus energy, but the Hierophant to me represents someone who is a helper, right? Someone who is very like stern, serious, devoted to something, you know? And I mean, I guess Dionysus is dedicated to, like, you know, harvest and food and drink and, you know, living a good life. I see. And that's what I was kind of saying. You were dedicating yourself, just having fun, eating good foods, exploring. Maybe you were in a bit of like a hedonistic kind of energy where it's take, experience, you know, do, and not think too much about it or stress about it. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, not selfish, but it was the year of like you putting you first and what you want first and not worrying about how your decisions will affect everybody else. It's kind of what's coming through. But yeah, it always baffles me because the Hierophant kind of like gives me spiritual mentor, like a spiritual guide kind of energy. And maybe that's something you were also supposed to step into. Maybe adding a creative, more saucy or fun spin to maybe your spiritual guidance. Maybe you're someone who does tarot readings, you know, for example, and you add a creative, fun twist to it instead of making it serious all the time, you know, because sometimes people do want to watch a tarot reading, but they don't always want it to be serious and boring and just like someone like talking and like trying to not even talk down to them, but just like full of advice, you know what I mean? Or even if it is about advice, make it creative, you know, advice but creative, advice but fun, right? Spunky, upbeat. is kind of what I'm getting. I feel like for those of you using the example of a tarot reader, because the spiritual guide is coming through with the Hierophant, you created a fun spin to that. And that's what you were meant to do this year. Not take everything so seriously. Because when we think of spirituality, we think of we have to cleanse and be serious, and we have to be holier than thou and better than everyone else. So we can't cut, so we can't do this. And that's not always the case when it comes to spirituality. It's like not one size fits all. So you added a fun, creative spin to your spiritual side or your spiritual practice, business, whatever, you know, your spiritual journey. You added a funness to it. You gave, that doesn't sound good. You gave yourself less pressure. No, you decided to put less pressure on yourself to be perfect this year. I feel like it's something that's coming through. So what else was their lesson to learn this year? Here we have Ace of Swords, chaos. A lot of new beginnings. It's like following your impulse, like I said, not having to worry about having a plan, but just going after what you want, you know, without thinking too much about it. So you were meant to get out of your head, into your body, into the world this year. Okay, so hopefully you were out there traveling, you were eating different foods, exploring different things, doing a lot of things you've never done before, speaking. What? That's my confirmation. Speaking in rooms you've never been in before, meeting people you never would have met otherwise, right? That's kind of what I'm getting here as well. Like getting out of your comfort zone. Because the way that just fell over, don't piss me off. That's coming through as well. Like, and instead of me just like completely going berserk at that falling over, like, oh my gosh, everything is like falling, I'm like, you know, laughing about it. It's chill, you know? When things go wrong, you're not stressing too much about it. It's kind of what I'm getting here for sure. But the Ace of Swords with the Ace of Wands, a lot about new beginnings, starting over, doing something new in a way you've never done it before, you know, that kind of thing. I'm getting like free energy, like bird, horse kind of energy. And it's funny because we're going into the year of the horse, you know, based on the Chinese zodiac, the year of the horse, and horses are all about freedom and action. So maybe what you were meant to learn this year is building up to what you will come to do in the next year, right? You were meant to be free and try to tap into that energy of not really caring or worrying, right? I'm also hearing over consuming. So maybe you were someone who was meant to more so create things yourself instead of consume other people's things. It's kind of reminding me of how sometimes I'd be on TikTok just doom scrolling, not even doom scrolling. I just love TikTok because thankfully my algorithm shows me things that educate me. So I'm just always so thirsty to learn more and scroll, you know? And then some people just doom scroll watching like makeup tutorials, or not saying those aren't great, those are amazing as well, but I like to make my consumption educational so I can go back to someone and say, I just learned this new fact. That's why I go on tangents in my readings, because I learn new things every day and I love to learn, right? But yeah, people are kind of like, stop consuming all this all this content and start making your own on TikTok. They love to say that, you know, those are the videos that seem to go viral, right? Inspirational / TikTok based, you know. So you're boosting people to start creating more on TikTok, which makes them money, but it's also kind of inspiring people to just create and put themselves out there and do things they never would have done before, you know, or the things that they're always thinking about doing that they never did, right? So it's kind of giving me that for you guys. You have been creating more than you've been consuming this year. So if you haven't found time to be on TikTok as of late, you haven't found time to be on YouTube, Instagram, even talking to your own friends, and you kind of feel like you just spent so much time in your own little world, exploring, blossoming, creating, I feel like this is the reading for you and you were meant to do that. And especially now that we're at the end of the year and this is what you were meant to learn, I kind of feel like if you feel like you were in that energy, that you kind of accomplished what you were meant to learn this year, you know? But the Hierophant being Taurus energy, but mostly being represented by Dionysus, right? It's definitely giving me enjoying the fruits of her labor, overconsumption, like not in the way of like social media, but in the way of like life. It's kind of giving me Sag energy in a way where they're representing 9th house, and 9th house is all about the spiritual self. It's all about traveling. It's all about education. It's all about building yourself up, right? So you were making strides this year is what I'm hearing. Strides, leaps, bounds, whatever you want to call it. You were making a lot of progress, and that means you are working more than consuming, like in the social media sense, you know? Okay, I'm not going to over-explain it because I'll get mad at me when I do that. Sorry. Please, Spirit, can I get one more card for the lessons? Well, 2 more, I guess. The lesson you guys were meant to learn this year, we have 5 of Wands in reverse. Yeah, no more fighting, no more running, no more chasing, receiving. No more having to be the best, right? It's kind of giving me, sorry to like keep bringing myself into it, but I don't think I did. This is my first time. Anyway, I think I did. Anyway, not too much. Okay. So for example, as a tarot reader on YouTube, you want to please yourself. Then you also want to please the viewers. Then you also want to please YouTube and the algorithm that they build to either push your videos or block them, right? Or not show them to as many people, whatever you want to call it. So my thing this year has been a lot of doing what I want to do, but also trying to please you. And like I said, please the algorithm. This 5 of Wands is me. I would be going to other tarot readers and seeing what they're posting and posting what they're posting. And I saw it did good for them, so it was going to do good for me too. That's kind of like you're competing with other people in your field instead of paving your own way, right? I kind of feel like this year I've been like, what are they posting? That's great. I'm going to do my own thing, right? Whether I get the good views or not, whether it's risky, whether it's what YouTube wants to see, whether it's what you guys want to see, it's kind of what I want to do. And I did start this channel to help people, but to also to fulfill my creative wants and needs and be a creative outlet for myself. So it's kind of like trying to please all these different people, but instead of doing that, you're trying to please yourself this year. And you were just, like I said, creating for creation's sake. If it does well, whatever, I had fun doing it or putting it out there in the world. Whether it does good or not, whether it makes me money or not, is the kind of energy coming through. You know what I mean? Because obviously on YouTube, the more views you get, the more money you make. If you're not getting the views, you're not making the money. But also sometimes you have to just charge it to the game. Whether it goes through, whether you make money from it or not. I had fun making it. I put it out there, put my heart into it. And that's it. That's life, right? And that's something I feel like you were meant to learn this year. And then we have the Empress, literally what I've been saying, to releasing. Getting into your divine feminine energies is the first thing that came through, and it's the last card coming out. So I do feel like there's something here about you doing that. The Hierophant, like I said, Dionysus, right, is about drinking and eating and absorbing and just enjoying life. That's what you were meant to do this year. I feel like enjoy, try new foods, get drunk, be less responsible. There's something here about being less responsible for you guys. I feel like using your voice more, using your creative talents more, building something. Maybe you started a business. Maybe you started a creative outlet. Maybe you started a channel. Maybe you started a TikTok. Maybe you started something and you started posting more consistently on those things, right? And it's something you did for you, not for views. You know, and if that comes, that's amazing. But get back to the reason why you started doing it in the first place, you know? Now, I feel like I'm talking to myself. I have been stressing for the past few weeks, like, what do I post? Oh my gosh, I'm trying to get my views up. They're not doing that well. And I'm like, first of all, it's holiday time, so not many people are online. They're stressed and buying presents and things. But it's also, sometimes you're going to have, there's ebbs and flows. Sometimes your videos are going to do great. Sometimes they're not. And I'm like, girl, just stop. Do what makes you happy, create what makes you happy. Now, I'm pretty sure more likely than not, this reading won't do that well because it seems the people that watch my videos don't like these kinds of readings, so they watch it less. And YouTube is like, because less people are watching this video, your reach is not as good. And I'm like, oh, okay. So y'all hate me, huh? Okay, that's fine. It's cool. But then I'm like, but I enjoy making it. That's all that matters. I put it out there. Whoever finds it, whoever loves it, whoever resonates with it, that's all that matters to me. Release it and stop making it like, if it doesn't do well, you failed. No, I did a video. I put my heart and soul into all my videos, and whoever watched it, who catches it, got the message. That's all that matters, right? I feel like a lot of breathing and bring yourself off the brink and off the ledge was a lot of the lessons you were meant to learn this year. It's kind of like the Empress. Whatever she does, it does great. And whatever she makes, she's not stressing it out. She's not stressing about it, you know? Okay, these are really great cards, though. But this is like a year of new beginnings for you. The themes. Just start, you know? Just do it. Nike. I'm surprised she didn't come out. Just do it. But you weren't focusing more so on like victory and success this year. You were focusing on like just doing it. Just having fun. Just doing it for the experience. What is the saying everyone's saying? Doing it for the plot. I feel like that's what you were basically doing this year. Just doing it for the plot, right? You're not worrying about what happens. And I feel like you were also enjoying the fruits of your labor. Maybe 2024 was more so a building year for you, and 2025 was an enjoying year for you. So all the things you built in 2024 were kind of coming in, And the Hierophant is kind of giving me that because he's surrounded by all this food. He's surrounded by all this drink. He's like wiping his mouth because he just imbibed so much good wine and food. He's kind of like full, gluttonous is the kind of energy that was coming through this year, you know? So maybe it was like great financially for you. So maybe you were able to be in this Empress energy of more so traveling, more so eating, trying new things and not stressing about life, because 2024 was a building year. 2025 was kind of like a chill year for you, and you were meant to learn how to relax and sit back and receive, okay? So that's what I feel like your lesson was for this year. Let us do the dice, see what comes through. Did you fall? You didn't. Hallelujah. Caught you. Yeah, my thighs are strong out here. Period. Let me stop. So we have Gemini, which is more about enjoying, talking, socializing. So you were definitely socializing. You were speaking with people. That could be online. That could be in person. That could be telling more jokes, laughing more even, right? You were in a more like chill, relaxed, laid back kind of environment. You know what I mean? Because whenever I think of Gemini, I always think of like big cities, big bustling cities where everything is moving fast, like New York City, for example, or Chicago, or even LA, where everything's moving fast. No one really has time for you. Even Moscow. I don't know why I'm thinking of Moscow, but I'm just thinking of Michael Jackson's song "Stranger in Moscow," how he felt kind of alone because everyone's like doing their own thing, moving really fast, and they're not worried about him. It's easy to feel alone, but I do feel like this year was also about maybe you being alone as well and being happy on your own with the Empress card coming through. But yeah, Gemini always gives me big bustling city vibes, right? So maybe you were someone who was meant to be just like chill and free as a bird, or just traveling a lot, you know, on trains, planes, buses, whatever. Even cruises. I went on a cruise this year for the first time, and I was like, "Ooh, I kind of like it here. I think I'm gonna like it here." But like Annie, okay? Seeing Mr. Warbucks' house for the first time, like, ooh, what is this? I can't swim, but I'm gonna learn. Okay, here we have, this is Virgo. Virgo and Gemini are both ruled by Mercury, so like a lot of fast-moving, analytical, thinking, mind melding kind of energy. I'm hearing from farm to table. Is that what it's like? It's giving from farm to table, where people like have like little establishments or restaurants where it's strictly farm to table. That's kind of what I'm getting. But what do I mean by that? Like, it's coming through in a weird way. Like from mind to paper. Like as soon as you come up with an idea, you're acting on it. You're not giving any time to marinate or for you to start doubting yourself. No. As soon as I have an idea, as soon as I have a, what do you call it? How some people just put a video camera in front of them and just start going on a tangent, or saying, I was just thinking about this, guys, and I had to get it out, and just releasing it and not even thinking about what if it does well, what if it doesn't do well. No, just create, you know? That's kind of what I'm getting. Here we have, this is Mars. So action, just doing it, just do it, Nike. Here we have 10th house, career. So career is a big thing for your theme this year. And then we have, what is this? Neptune? No, Neptune is the trident. This is Pluto. So transformation, yeah, you were going from being someone who's like more so active and worried about stuff and, you know, always stressed about making money and if this is going to do well and if people are going to like you. And now this year, your lesson was to just be a little bit more carefree, a little bit more receiving, you know, or receptive, I guess we can say, a little bit more your divine feminine, which doesn't chase, they attract. They don't work, they relax. Okay? They don't cook, they eat. Right? That kind of thing is coming through. You create as well. You're not like out there watching everybody else's stuff. No, you're making your own stuff, you know, because the Empress is like pregnant with opportunity, with abundance, with a baby. So you could have been someone who's like creating something this entire year, like an album, for example, or I'm hearing what do you call it? A show, like a painting show or a gallery show. You were painting all the pieces and you're gonna put on a big show next year, kind of energy. But because the Empress is pregnant with opportunity, it's giving me you were building a lot of stuff this year, just creating something in general and not really releasing it. Because that's more so masculine energy. Releasing it, doing, right? You were just creating it, building upon it, crafting it, you know, maybe studying more about it, right? Maybe some of you are writing a book. What I do know, from what I see from some of my favorite authors, when they're writing a book, they most definitely research. They're, especially if they're talking about a certain place, or the people in the book are traveling to a certain place, they're going to stop, and the whole year before they write the book, they're plotting the book. They're saying, okay, so-and-so is going here, and she's going to be staying there for a week or a month. I need to have her know something or immerse herself in this culture so I know what I'm talking about in this book. So the artist will go and research that place that a person's going to be staying in the book or traveling to. And what do they do in Paris? Okay, this, and that. So when I write the book and I'm talking about Paris, I don't sound like I don't know what I'm talking about because I did some research. So you spent this whole year plotting a book, and next year you're going to start writing the book. Or you spent 2024 plotting the book, and this year you were writing the book. It's one of those. It's like what resonates for you. It's going to be one of those, honestly, okay? So that's what's coming through for you guys, because we don't have two of these. I don't know where the other one went. We're just going to do that again. And then we have 7th house. So contracts were definitely a thing. Maybe you were signing contracts. Maybe you're working on business opportunities. Okay. I'm hearing corporate as well. Libra is also the house of like collaboration. So maybe you were doing more collaborations. Maybe you were sponsorships, stuff like that. But relationships as well. Could be something coming through as well. Maybe relationships is something you were building. Cultivating that, more love into your life. That makes some sense. Interesting. But yeah, you were very much in a chill energy of just sitting back and watching everything grow around you. Or you were like moving slower than everyone else. You weren't in a rush to get anywhere. Even if you live in a big town, you were just like, I'm just chilling. I'm going with it wherever the waves take me. Okay. That's what I'm getting for you guys. But a lot of creation, right? The Hierophant, a lot of guidance, more spirituality. You know what I mean? But I do believe you were taking a new take on spirituality is kind of what I'm getting. But yeah, we'll leave it at that. Maybe we'll leave those up there. And I was gonna pull a card from here. What lesson were they meant to learn this year? Please spare it for my group ones. What lesson were they meant to learn this year? Here we have the Mystic. Yeah, we have Intuition, High Priestess, and Visionary. And that's like what the Hierophant gives. There is a reason you have those dreams. So that's kind of what I was getting. Yeah, you're following your dreams, chasing your dreams, cultivating your dreams, planning to cultivate your dreams, right? Like I said, not like I said, but I was mentioning the year of the horse, but this year was the year of the snake. And snakes are all about transformation, shedding your skin, Kundalini awakenings. Maybe a lot of you went through another spiritual awakening where it's kind of like you feel like you're ending the year a completely different person, or your horizons have been expanded in such a way where it's like, I don't even remember what I did, or I changed so much over the year. I don't remember how I started the year off. Like, who was that person? Kind of energy, a complete transformation. And that's Pluto energy, exactly. So you went through like a death of some kind, whether it was a death in how you saw love, how you saw life, how you saw working, how you saw gathering money, how you saw making money. That kind of energy, your relationship to money and other people could definitely have been a thing that transformed this year, is what I'm getting. But this is the number one. Wow, yeah. A whole new you. You were meant to unlock a whole new you this year. But it says Intuition, High Priestess, Visionary. You were focusing on figuring out what you wanted this year. And I do believe because next year is the year of the horse, and horses are about action and freedom and chasing something, you know? I do believe next year is going to be a year of like enacting all the things you were plotting this year or doing this year. You know what I mean? It's kind of giving me this was your year of letting go of all those beliefs that held you back. And because you let it go, tied up in a bow and shipped it off somewhere, or did like a burning bowl ritual or something like that, now you're able to step into this next year and like freedom, horse, free of all the things that were holding you back, and in your Empress energy. And Empresses effortlessly attract. People want to give them things because their energy is so pure and beautiful. So a lot of energy work was done this year. And because we had 7th house, maybe as it pertains to love, relationships, how you work with people, how you view other people, that kind of thing was a big thing this year for you guys, right? And I'm hearing nothing's gonna hurt me with my eyes shut. I see right through them. I see right through them. Eyes shut is the name of the song, I think. But nothing's gonna hurt me with my eyes shut. I see right through them. So even when my eyes are closed, I can still see everything. And that's a big high priestess, Hierophant energy, okay? So yeah. But I do believe the Hierophant, if we had to talk about it, I do believe the Hierophant is the more rambunctious, fun spirit guide, as opposed to the high priestess, who's the more stern, serious, get your act together spirit guide. So I do believe the spirit guides who are leading you this year or guiding you this year are the ones that was encouraging you to be crazy. I'm hearing, get crazy, act wild. If you want to have fun and do something crazy. I'm hearing that's a theme song for Jersey Shore. It's kind of giving that energy where they were just going buck wild on that show. Everything was like free for all, sleeping around, drinking too much, enjoying, like I said, gluttonous kind of behavior. The spirit guides that were in control of your story arc this year was all about you going buck wild crazy, right? Who knows who's going to be in control next year? But this year you have the slack spirit guides, the fun ones, right? The fun teachers, the cool moms, right? That's who y'all had stirring y'all this year. Who knows about next year? But for right now, y'all are meant to have fun this year, to learn how to enjoy life again, enjoy your art again, enjoy your craft again. Maybe you were making it too stressful for yourself, and the spirit guide was like, I'm taking over. Move out of the way. Okay? So let us see what is coming through for the lesson you're meant to learn next year. I'm excited. Oh, that came out fast. We have this star. Look at that, stepping into this star energy, your star power. All the things you were cultivating this year is going to come full circle next year. The star can also represent a wish come true, right? I do believe if you were going through a dark night of the soul, as they call it, because we have the star card here, there's some light coming to that, or you learn to shine bright in the darkness. So you're like standing out for whatever reason. Even if you were in the darkness, year was horrible for you, you became a star because of it, if that makes sense. Or you learn to shine in the dark is kind of what I'm getting. Even the stars, in the stars, need the sun to shine. Is that what it's called? No, even the stars need the dark to shine. I'm out here butchering the song. That's a song called Even the Stars by Sarah Jeffrey. I think her name, I know her name is Sarah Jeffrey, right? She is like I know her as Mel from Charmed, the reboot. She was the youngest sister. No, Maggie, sorry, excuse me. Mel was the middle one. Yeah, I know her as Maggie from Charmed, the reboot. But she was also that pink girl from Descendants, the pink princess. I didn't watch Descendants, so I don't know. Here we have 8 of coins. Okay, so yeah, this year was about having fun, enjoying the fruits of your labor. Right, next year is going to be about getting even better, is what I'm hearing as well. With the star and the 8 of Pentacles coming out together, it's kind of like becoming a boss. It's kind of like a Giga Chad. That's the first example. Not saying you're going to become a Giga Chad, but there's a Chad, and then there's an even worse Chad, Giga Chad. You're becoming even better version of yourself, if that makes sense. Maybe some of you are becoming Giga Chads. I don't know. Are you? Here we have the Emperor Zeus. Yeah, more control. I'm hearing more sustenance. And wow. For freaking your year, we had the Empress, and then for the next year, we have the Emperor. Yeah, so you're getting active. You're getting, what is it called? Sturdy. Yo, being from New York is crazy. You're getting sturdy, okay? Here we have the Knight of Wands, which is Heracles, and he does give, like, it's time for us to, like, make some moves, get sturdy vibes. Because he gives a warrior going into battle. That's what he gives here. It's time for, like, your focus. This lion looks like he's not about to play no games with you. He's about business. And that's what you're going to be about next year. Getting to business, getting to the mignon, okay? Maybe this year was about enjoying the mignon, right? Next year is going to be about making more of the mignon. I'm sorry. This reading is, they cracking me up. Can I get one more card, please, Spirit? What will my group 2's lesson be next year? We have the King of Wands. Yeah, so divine masculine energy is going to be the central focus next year. Divine feminine was the central focus this year, okay? And I do believe once you balance those two energies, things become so much easier in life. When you know when to get active, get sturdy, get crunk, get crazy, get wild, then and you know when to sit back and relax and not do anything and just watch and see what happens, that's when life becomes beautiful. You know, when you know when to chase versus attract, you know. But yeah, the star card coming through is Aquarius energy. So because we had visionary, I'm also hearing innovation coming through as well. I do believe that's going to follow you into your next year, and that's something you could have been learning how to perfect in last year or this year, I guess we could say, because this is next year. You were learning how to perfect that visionary. You were learning how to be yourself and not copy other people. Like I was saying, sometimes I'm like, should I do what the other readers doing here on YouTube? It seems to be doing well for them. And then I'm like, no, I'll just stick to what I like to do and what I want to do and what seems to work for me. Just because it works for them doesn't mean it's going to work for me, right? And that's kind of like how I feel like you're going about things. You're setting your own path. And if it makes you crazy, doesn't get you as much views, it's fine. You know? That's what I'm getting as well. Like I said, you're learning how to stand out in the dark. Because that song just keeps coming through. Even the stars need the dark to shine. Okay. I do believe you're also going to be more sociable. You may be in a lot more social situations next year. And that's something you're going to be learning how to navigate. Like being in front of people and having people ask you questions. I'm seeing like paparazzi and how when they're following behind celebrities, they're like throwing questions at them. How you doing today? So where you going, huh? How did your new album do? We see you're coming from lunch. What you have for lunch? Like you're being harassed in a way. People are following you. So this could be you're getting more followers, you're getting more eyes on you, whatever it may be, you know? But I'm seeing the paparazzi. So there could be something here about people like following you around places or you becoming more popular or well known, if you will. Yeah. Okay. Then we have the 8 of Coins, mastery, really diving deep into your craft. Here we have this person. His hand is going back to catch a bow to arch in the arrow, and that's giving me Sag energy. Okay. Oh, and this is Chiron. Exactly. Yeah. You're meant to teach. So I think maybe you spent so much time learning something this year because you're meant to put it to paper or put it to a specific program for other people to learn next year. So this is how I got out of my slump. You make a little program, maybe sell it, people buy it, and it makes you successful. Or I'm hearing a New York Times bestseller. That could be something as well. Like I said, that book reference was coming through earlier. You spent so much time this year building a book or writing the book. Next year going to be releasing the book and going on a press run. And yes, that will include people asking you questions about the book. Yeah, that's coming through. Some of you could be authors, or if an author were to choose this pile or this reading, they would choose this group here, and they will be releasing a book next year, and it will include fans asking them questions or going on a press release tour or whatever. That's kind of what I'm getting. You spent this year making something, putting your heart and soul into something, you know, in that creative bubble energy, and then whatever you've been making this year, you're going to be releasing next year. So like I said, it could be an art exhibit and you were like carefully crafting all the pieces, and next year you're going to release the pieces, right? Whatever you want that to be, a song, an album, whatever, a rebrand, whatever, you know. And that's what you're going to be focusing on next year, okay? And then we have the Emperor, Zeus, which is you like having to be more in that, in the spotlight, in control, in command, in demand kind of energy, you know, where you're going to have to be more strict with your schedule. What do you do? Responsible, stable energy is what the Emperor represents. So you're definitely going to have to be on a strict schedule and time limit, and you're going to have to work out and wake up at this time and do that. And that's kind of giving me press release tour, because I do believe a lot of the times on those tours, the artist or whoever is doing it, whether it's the singer or the actor, they're always complaining about not getting much sleep. They're literally jet setting all around the world to do these press release tours and these interviews to promote their book, their movie, whatever, their album, and they don't get much sleep. Right? So I do believe you're going to be in like active mode next year. So that's the lesson you're meant to learn next year, to be more responsible with your time, to be more stable and grounded. I kind of feel like in the midst of chaos is kind of what I'm getting as well. And we have like these 2 major arcana cards coming out. So there's something here about being grounded when you're getting all this attention, all these things being screamed at you. You know what I mean? And look at how we have the Emperor, and he's like literally glowing gold. Maybe you're going to be crowned with something, whether you're feminine or masculine, because even here in the star with Nyx, she has these little things in her hair like a crown, and whatever is on top of her head, it's like she's being crowned for something, or maybe you're going to be winning an award. You know, I'm hearing a YouTube plaque for some of you. But the Emperor is like being, like he has the crown running down on him. And then we have Knight of Wands chasing, right? Then we have the King of Wands, if you can even see it. You have the King of Wands, Chronos. So there's something here about you being proud about whatever you do. Pride. Maybe you will be a little competitive. I mean, if you are wanting to become a New York Times bestseller, it is quite competitive. Not everybody makes the list. So if you do make the list, it's because you were competitive and they chose you because you had that thing that no one else had. And look at him, he crowned himself the king. Okay, Cronus isn't really the best guy because this is the god that was known for eating his kids, and his kids were meant to be in the prophecy that he heard. They were meant to dethrone him. So he was like, nah, sis, nah, bro, nah, fam. He ate them kids. He said, F them kids, let me eat them kids. And he ate them children. Okay? That's kind of what I'm getting. Eating the competition. Overcoming is what I'm getting as well. You guys are going to be funny next year. Like, you're going to be ruthless, little ruthless, with all this energy. Now it's funny how you went from like all these feminine, receptive, eating and drinking and laughing cards to now the more serious, let's get down to business cards. It's giving Mulan, right? In that I'll make a man out of you video, where Shang was like, y'all are useless. What are y'all doing? Why y'all? I literally asked for sons and they sent me daughters. Like, what's going on here? And it took Mulan that whole song to finally get into action and get into gear and kick things up a notch. And it was her determination and her being like just so purposeful about what she was doing that she was able to finally climb that thing and shoot an arrow and swim and catch a fish with her hands. And it's because she was dedicated. And then at the end of it, what's his name? Shane couldn't come look at her in the kind of way saying, oh, you're a daughter. No, I'm a son now. I sonned you. You know, is the kind of energy coming through? That's literally what is coming through. You're coming through as the father, the emperor, and then we have the King of Wands, which is Cronus, and he is the one that ate all them children. Because he's like, no, you're not going to come and dethrone me. If I got to eat all y'all to stop the prophecy from coming true, hey, that's what I got to do. And funnily enough, Zeus is the one that overthrew him. So is the story playing out here? Are you fulfilling a prophecy? Because the prophecies are prophecies. There's no stopping them. So the fact that Cronus, whatever this man's name is, thought by eating his kids that the prophecy wouldn't come true, and it still came true. It's kind of giving me how I'm watching season 2 of Percy Jackson, right? And I had already seen the movies when they came out back in the day, but now this is like they're going more in depth and showing episode by episode, giving us more of the book, right? And I do remember there's a prophecy going on in season 2, and Percy is trying so hard not to fulfill the prophecy, so much so that he's telling Annabeth, don't tell me what the prophecy is. She ends up telling him what the prophecy is, but you know what I mean. But there's just like something here about it's going to be somebody. And the more you know about it, the more you're going to fulfill it. Is the kind of energy coming through. So it's kind of like sometimes it's best not to know what's going to happen in your life so you can kind of like stumble into it or be pleasantly surprised, kind of what I'm getting. But there's something here about a prophecy being fulfilled, whether you know about it or not. You know what I mean? Maybe you're writing books about someone fulfilling a prophecy. That could be an idea for somebody out there, you know? Okay, let's get some dice from here and see what is coming through for next year. Here we have, I think this is Uranus. So a lot of fast, unexpected things. And that's what I was saying. It's better to see things come to you that you're not expecting. So if you do get on the New York Times best-selling author list, it's something that they have to announce. And it's something you won't know right away. So it's going to be some you have to work as hard as you possibly can, make the best book ever, 8 of Coins, and then leave it up to the universe. And that's when you transfer back into this Empress energy you spent so much of this year cultivating, because you know you deserve it. You worked hard. You did the research. You did the dang thing. You released your baby out there in the world. And now it's time for you to just sit back and watch it grow and watch it build and watch everyone react to it. You know what I mean? But unexpected changes is something about something coming in that you're not expecting, right? Here we have Pisces. So this is about dreams, literally. It's about the 2 fish going in a circle around each other, you know? Twee and La from Avatar: The Last Airbender. How they spent so much time being in freaking sync, yin and yang, divine feminine, divine masculine. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. That's literally, because Pisces usually wouldn't give me that. But there's a reason why Twee and Law are coming through from Avatar: The Last Airbender. They were the yin and yang symbol in the dang book, or in the show. Yeah, literally. You're putting these energies so perfectly together that you're in sync, you know? Okay, and we have Uranus coming through again. So something that's coming through next year is to expect the unexpected, to embrace the unexpected. That's the lesson you're meant to learn next year. Things may not go your way, or everything may come up roses, and you don't know what to expect. You don't know what's gonna happen. But just embrace the things that you don't know. You know? It's like you don't know what you don't know. You know what you do know. You know what I mean? Focus on what you do know. Make those moves. Do what you gotta do. Focus is the energy for next year. And whatever happens, happens. But a lot of unexpected things will be coming through in the way of the world. We have 11th house, which is Aquarius energy. And the Aquarius is how can I describe it? It's how you're received in the world. I know it's also 10th house energy, but I feel like Aquarius has to do with like your persona in the world wide web, online, stuff like that, friends, people you don't know that well. It's kind of what's coming through, people you just meet. There's something here about you being placed on a worldwide whatever and like being judged in a kind of way. You know what I mean? So maybe some of you are going to start posting things or putting a book baby, a art baby, a song baby out there. And it's like up to, public approval to how well the song goes or the video goes, literally. Will you be placed in the algorithm properly? Will you grow? Will you not grow? It depends. You did all you could. You created it, you released it. That's literally all you can do. Now it's time for you to switch back into that Empress energy that you learned to cultivate so well in this year and see where it takes you, whether it pops off or it doesn't, right? Let it go, release it. It's what's coming through. I'm here, 1, 2, 3, release them, right? That's coming through. But 11th house is how you're viewed on the World Wide Web. And it's kind of like you're going to get reach to all these different countries out there in the world in ways you never thought you would before. Interesting. So you guys are releasing something next year. That's all that I know for sure. And then here we have Cancer. And Cancer is also that yin and yang energy. That's going to be a big thing next year. So Cancer, Pisces, dreams. This is what dreams are made of. I'm hearing, hey now, hey now. So you're going to be living your dreams next year. And that's something that's going to take discipline. But it's also going to take just allowing things to happen and not stressing too much about it. Because there's one thing about public opinion. You can't control the narrative. You got to let people receive you how they're going to receive you. And that's about it. That's when the Empress energy comes out. Okay? You either love me or you hate me. I don't care. And that's a very attractive energy to be in, I feel like. Because people who don't like you are going to want you to care that they don't like you. And the people that do love you and want more from you are going to be showering you with love. That's what people say, my haters or my fans too, because you're still watching my stuff, right? It's kind of giving me the energy, okay? So let's get one card. Please, Spirit, can we get one card? One card for my group ones, the lesson they're supposed to learn next year. And of course the cards fall. Hey now, hey now. We have the Eternal Center. I've never gotten this one. It says, there's a place within me, still, calm, steady, eternal. It says, guru, protection, and peace. And that's what I feel like I was speaking about when you finding that center in between or inside of you. Not in between, but finding that in between, the yin and yang, right? You releasing something and then releasing it, literally. Like, it's out there. There's nothing else I can do for it. I did my best, and now it's time for me to just let it go, right? And that's when you find this eternal center inside of you. And like I said, for some of you, spirituality was a big thing this year for you guys, and you're going to then turn into the teacher, the guru. You use your intuition, your vision properly, and I feel like it's going to come back to reward you in the new year, or a lesson you're going to be learning. Like I said, teaching. That's what I was saying. Exactly. That came through. I remember. You learned this year. Next year's going to be about teaching. I don't know how that came through, when it came through, why it came through, but I remember saying it. Whatever you were learning, you're going to make it to a program or something for other people to then benefit from. And that's when you become the guru. Okay, here we have the next card, and it says the past. Wow, releasing rebirth and spring. It says, and so I listened as my soul told me to let the past go so that I may awaken to how much I have grown. So yeah, that's literally what your next year is going to be about. I feel like you're going to be incorporating the lessons you learned this year with the lessons you're going to be learning this year, or next year, I should say. With the lessons you're going to be learning in this year, you're going to incorporate what you learned in the previous year. So it's kind of like a continuous cycle. It's not about, oh, this year ended, let's leave it in the past, and da-da-da-da. No, the past, which is literally what this year will become next year, the past is going to play a big part in this person you're becoming, right? And I'm hearing like a call center or something like that coming through. A call center. Maybe you will be someone people call in to talk to or something like that, right? Maybe you'll have like a business hotline or something. It's kind of what I'm getting, phone calls, talking, being in the public space. Like I was talking about with the book thing. Excuse me. Ugh. Where you release a book and people are asking you questions about it and the press is screaming questions at you. That's kind of what I'm getting here. And that's what this call center is giving me. People calling you, asking you questions, you giving interviews, stuff like that. I'm being called specifically to those people who are more spiritual. I don't know if you guys know her. I'm pretty sure you do because she's really big. I think her name is Jadina on YouTube. She does like specific channel messages, right? She just had like an article released like a few days ago or last week or within the last week. She had an article released with like New York Times or New York something where she released a book, literally, yes. She released a book that she'd been working on for a long time, right? And the person was like going through her life story and basically saying how she found this, what she did, da-da-da-da, and just like a beautiful like bow on the present that she gave in the book. And then I read it. It was really beautiful. I kind of feel like for those of you who are more spiritually inclined, maybe you'll be releasing a spiritual book or a tell-all or I don't know, a manifesto or something like that. It could be digitally, it could be on a channel, it could be something, but you're giving your wisdom back to the world, right? And it may end up being publicized or publicated, I think is what's coming through. And you're gonna get like an article or a plaque or something, a thank you, whatever, for what you did or what you will do this year, you know? And that will be very unexpected because I don't know a lot of people who are getting publicated in books and stuff like that, you know? It's kind of reminding me of this lady I watch, or she pops up on my FYP on TikTok recently. She's kind of like, I think her name's like Marina, and she's like the Oracle, and she was in the New York Times or whatever for being a Oracle, whatever. And I'm like, oh, interesting. Like there are magazine publications that talk about spiritual people and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, I didn't know that. Maybe one day I'll be in that book. Let me stop. But that's kind of what I'm getting. You know what I mean? Widely known online, 11th house. Yeah, there's something here about online or worldwide, something coming through for you guys. Like different countries, that kind of energy. Maybe you blow up in a specific country and you go visit that country, right? There's specific people who like make videos or make books or whatever, and the book blows up, or songs, and the song blows up in one specific country, and they go visit that one country, and that's them like being discovered in different, you know, that's kind of what I'm getting, okay? But anyway, I'm done, okay? I hope this reading resonated. If it did, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, join the tribe. I'd love to have you. Thank you for joining me here. If you ever want to book a reading with me, you can always do so using my email in the description box below. I do have channel memberships, right? If you want to join, you feel called to join, you can find the link for that in the description box below, right above the timestamps. If you want to book a personal reading, you can do so using my email in the description box below. But I do hope you're having a beautiful, wonderful day whenever you're watching this reading. And as always, I will see you gorgeous people in the next one. Bye. Hello, my gorgeous group twos. Welcome to your reading. Thank you for joining me today. So today's reading is going to be a cute, classy, let me stop. Today's reading is going to be about what lesson were you meant to learn this year versus the lesson you're meant to learn next year, okay? So basically, what was the meaning of your 2025? What was the meat and potatoes of what you were meant to learn? The topics, themes, whatever those may be. And then we're going to get into what you're meant to learn this next year. So a little compare and contrast, a Venn diagram, okay? So let's see what's coming through for you guys. Immediately, the Venn diagram, like, kind of sucked me in. So there could be something here about comparing and contrasting. your life from 2024 to what you wanted to be different in 2025. Could have been something that was like a really big theme of your year. Yeah, there's something about that, but also classy and cute could have also been the theme of your year as well. Keeping it cute, keeping it classy, no drama. Like, it's kind of giving you wanted your year to be the complete opposite of what 2024 was. Now, 2024 could have been a ghetto year. 2024 could have been a very transformative, very hectic year. You could have lost a lot of friends. You could have gained a lot of friends. There could have been a lot of drama, whether it was in relationships or friendships or family. And you were kind of like, 2025 is going to be the complete opposite of that. I'm keeping it cute. I'm keeping it classy. I'm being called to a video that I was watching earlier on TikTok where this guy was like, people who don't want to fight for me and the connection we have together, whether it be love, family, friends, whatever, they can move along. They can move to the side. Okay? Because if you're not checking in on me, you're not making sure I'm good. If you think that I'm too special, or I think that I'm so above you, and yada, 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 and I'm fighting for you and this connection we have, and you're not doing the same in return, head to the back. As a matter of fact, get off the bus altogether. You know what I mean? And he's like, he's done giving more than anybody else gives in a connection, you know? And I'm like, felt that. Okay, he better preach. I feel called for whatever reason. Maybe I'll link it in the description box or link it in a comment below or something, because I think some of y'all need to see that. Or that could be a really good like summary of what you were doing this 2025. Cutting, purging, and like just curating the life you've always wanted, which is one full of peace, right? Maybe you were talking to your family less and they were drama or dramatic. Maybe you were talking to your friends less because they're usually the ones that bring the drama. Maybe you were not focusing so much on love and romance and men and this and that, because they tend to be freaking dramatic. They tend to be the most sassy man apocalypse ever that I've ever met in my life. And I'm just like, you were done with that. Okay, so you kept it cute, kept it classy, kept it pushing. You was worried about you and your own business. Okay, I love that for you. So let's get the actual cards out now that message has passed. Okay, so please, Spirit, tap me into the energy of my group 2's lesson this year. What lesson or lessons were they meant to learn? Please, Spirit. Here we have the Devil. Look at exactly what I was saying. Cutting out all the BS, cutting out all the extra chatter, all the noise. And you know what's crazy? That I was going to say, when you were keeping it cute and keeping it classy and focusing on you and your affairs and your endeavors, I was going to say your pets too. You were focusing on you and your pets. And I didn't say it, and I'm so mad. Because here we have the Devil, and the only thing he's worried about in this card is the little pop-up. Look at it. It's so little. That's all he worried about. He's supposed to be this big, like, scary Hades character, and he's holding the cutest little puppy ever. So you were on your bully mode. You were in your bully mentality. You were not worried about nobody and nothing except for you and your pet. And I love that I was going to say it and it came through anyway. So that's my confirmation right there. Okay. So maybe you stop doubting yourself as well. Maybe you stop holding back. It's given villain era. That was the theme of this year for you. Like, proving everyone wrong, and not because you want to prove them wrong, but because you're not going to feed into the narratives they're placing on you. Like, I'm not lazy. I'm not this. I'm not the drama. Am I the drama? Heck no. You're the drama. And if I got to be on my Hades mode to cut you off and go in the underworld and be like this evil, mean person in your eyes, then I will do that. I will be the villain in someone else's story any day. As long as my story and my life is safe and happy and healthy, I'm good at being the villain in someone else's story. That's kind of what I'm getting here. So maybe you were setting boundaries. You were kind of like, get away from you, all that drama. Maybe you have one friend in particular or one family member or whatever who's always with the BS. They're always coming to you and adding and just like how can I say it? Literally adding sewage into your life. They're draining all their BS. And the drama, whether it be relationships or maybe they're dragging other people into your like life, and you're kind of like, who is this person? Who are these people? And at a certain point, you got to be like, hey, it's my fault for allowing this person to come into my life with this chaotic energy. It's my fault for always putting up with the BS, for sitting here like entertaining it. And I think this year you stopped entertaining the BS, okay? So yeah, the devil card represents all things that hold us back, that pull the wool over our eyes, that get us addicted, beholden to, obsessed, anything that takes us out of our power is what the devil loves to, dabble in, so anything that was doing that for you in 2024, you cut it off. So maybe you went vegan, maybe you went, I'm hearing Pentecostal, that's funny. Maybe you went Jehovah's Witness. I don't freaking know. Maybe you went more spiritual and you went more secluded. You went more in your, high priestess bag where she cutting everybody off and nobody gonna know where she at. Okay? You turned off your location. Maybe your friends always used to share a location. And I think that's a little dangerous. It really just depends who you be messing with and who you call a friend. Because having someone know where you are 24/7 is a little dangerous. You know what I mean? Like in the way of like sending bad energy or where just always being up in your vibes. Like if you find that anywhere you go, like things just always seem to turn out wrong, or there's always like a negative energy following you around, even though you're by yourself. If you have someone who knows your location at all times and that you think they're a friend or they are a friend, whatever, I think it's time for you to cut that off. Or maybe that's something you did, because I'm getting that really strongly, right? That has never come through in my reading about location and turning off your location. But I feel like someone knowing where you are at all times, whether they're a friend or not, is kind of dangerous. It's supposed to be for safety reasons, right? So they know where you are if something happens. But I feel like they be clocking you, monitoring you a little too much is what's coming through here in this reading now, okay? And it's kind of like, oh, she's there. Oh, she's there. Oh, no, that kind of thing. So just keep that in mind. It's not going to be for everyone, right? But if you just feel like bad juju follows you everywhere and there is someone or a few people who have your location, I think you need to narrow it down to maybe 1 or 2 people, right? Everyone can't be having the low now. Okay? That was a very specific message that came through. So take it as it resonates. Okay? Here we have Judgment. Yeah, there was something about a wake-up call. Maybe there was something bad happened in 2024. Like I said, that you didn't want to repeat in 2025. So you kind of got real strict with your boundaries, with yourself, with your energy, with your time. You know what I mean? Because you didn't want this devil energy to have any access to you. Okay? But the Judgment card is kind of waking up, using your smarts. Athena is supposed to be the goddess of knowledge, of wisdom, right? She is the keeper of like knowledge. It's kind of giving me a Akashic record. So maybe there was something that was like brought to your attention that was like very deeply like spiritual. I'm hearing transitional, transmutational, something along those lines. It could be more energetic than physical, but I feel like maybe you were tapped into what would happen or what could happen if you didn't change where your life was going. It's kind of giving me what is it called? The Ghost of Christmas Past, and is it? I forget the name of the movie, child. It's not A Christmas Carol. I don't know. But the one with Scrooge, right? Where the ghosts come and visit him and say, here's what happened in your past. This is your present. This is going to be your future if you don't get it together. And you kind of got a glimpse of what your future would look like or what it would feel like. Or you just sat down one day and said, oh my gosh, can I go through another year or 2 of this if I stay with these same friends, with these same people in this same house, in this same energy, at the same job? This is what my life's going to look like for the next 5 years. Can I deal with that? And you was like, nah, I gotta get up out of here. And you left, okay? You ran is what I'm getting. So, yeah, it was given to me in that, like, humbug, Christmas, Ghost of Christmas Past, Present, Future kind of energy. You got a glimpse of what your life would be like in this same exact scenario for the next 5 years. And you was like, nah, I gotta get up out of here. Is the kind of energy that's coming through here for me. So your energy was like definitely letting go of all the toxicity, whether it be people in your life, and maybe just, adopting a little doggy. Dogs and animals and things like that don't really bring drama. They're annoying as someone who has a dog, but they just want to love you and be loved. And that's the simplest and the purest love there is between you and animals. They can't follow your location. They're always excited to see you when you come home, right? It's kind of like a healthy, I'm hearing co-habitual. It's like a healthy I don't want to say codependent relationship, but you know, you come home, your dog gives you something, you give your dog something. It's kind of like you're each getting something in return instead of your dog just taking. Because you got a dog for a reason, right? For some love, for some tenderness, for some company. And in return, you take care of the doggy. And the dog gives you the emotional, you know, reassurance or soothing back. So I'm kind of getting a little bit of that energy coming through, where instead of surrounding yourself with people, you said, nah, I'm getting a really big vibe of like moving somewhere secluded and just cutting everybody off. I'm getting that whole witch in the forest in her little hut, and everyone's calling her mean and evil and this person who's this and that, when she's really just minding her business, y'all, and protecting her peace. So it's very much giving that for you guys. What was a big theme? Here we have 5 of Wands. Yeah, that's funny. We have 7 of Wands and we have 5 of Wands. So yeah, the cards just keep the message going. Like I already basically said this. You were keeping your guard up. You were putting your boundaries up high because there was something you learned in the previous year or during this year that was kind of like, this is not going to be the rest of my life. I refuse to wake up and do the whole, what is it called? I'm seeing the Squidward episode in SpongeBob where he wanted to move away from SpongeBob so bad because he said it's loud here, it's ghetto. I want to be with people who are more like me. He moved into that whole squid compound, and he would just wake up every day and do the same thing, monotone, and he just got sick of it. Like he would wake up with a smile on his face, and the more the episode went on, the more his face just dragged and got droopy and sad and upset. He's like, I gotta get out of here. And he had to get out of there because that waking up every day doing the same thing, seeing the same people caught in the same cycles, feeling the same emotions every single day, especially if it's negative or draining or toxic, something has to change. Something's got to give. And he was like, I got to get up out of here, right? And I do believe like 2024 is like coming through very strong. So something happened during that 2024, 2025 era, not even era, sorry. Area, period, you know? I think something really happened then for you guys specifically, and something's like, something's gotta give, I gotta get up out of here, and you did. And this was mostly just, this year was meant about, this year was mostly meant, or you were mostly focused on keeping the peace. Jesus. Okay, another card fell out, wow. And then here we have 2 of Cups in reverse, and maybe you were kind of dissolving a connection, or like I said, decentering men in love, period. You know, you were like, nah, I'm not really giving too much energy into that right now. This is a year just about me. I kind of feel like you were trying to find some semblance of like, is it equilibrium? I'm hearing sense of self. You were more so focused on you this year. This was the year of definitely you, okay? With the themes of cutting off people, protecting your peace, putting you first, right? Not worrying about what people say, how they perceive you. If you're the villain, then you're going to be the villain in their story, and that's it. We're all a villain in someone's story, child. That's something we have to kind of get used to, because we did, or in their eyes, we did do something that may have hurt them. Right? And in their eyes, it's like, oh my gosh, this person's so mean and evil. But in your eyes, you're just like, I'm doing what's best for you in one instance. And another instance is kind of like, I'm just protecting myself, right? I'm doing what's best for me. I'm doing what I think is best for you, and you don't like the way I went about it and it hurt you, I'm sorry. Or I'm doing what's best for me, and the way I'm going about it is hurting you, and I'm sorry. That's it. You know what I mean? It's giving, it's above me now. And that was your whole like gist of 2024. It's above me now. 5 of Wands is kind of like fighting for what you want. So if you didn't want this and you knew you wanted that, there's a big gap between this that you don't want and what you do want. And this whole big gap, you had to fight to get what you wanted. And it wasn't easy. You had to be scrappy. I'm getting like a lot of peace, a lot of quiet reflection is coming through as well. Maybe more meditating as well. Like definitely like grounding your spiritual body. I don't know why that sounds so far-fetched and woo-woo, but there's something about that coming through. You're grounding your spiritual body. You were definitely getting more spiritual, learning more about you. And not who you are in someone else's story, but who you are in your story and what you want for your story. So it was very much, like I said, the year of you. Boy, my ear's acting up. Maybe somebody got some new piercings this year. because my ear piercing was acting up. Okay. Ooh, child, don't piss me off. That's coming through for you guys. I do want to get some dice for some extra themes. Yeah, the Capricorn is all about discipline. It's all about business, being business savvy, karma, right? Capricorn is like, when they're done, they're done. They are seen as a little bit of a fuddy-duddy energy sometimes. So maybe you were just like boring. You were in the house. You weren't really doing anything. You weren't going out drinking, partying, shaking booty at the club every single night kind of energy. It's kind of giving, maybe some of you had kids and you had to mature and get older, or you just weren't in that energy. There was like a switch, you know, at the end of the year or in 2025, there was a flip. A switch that was flipped. Yeah, that's what it is. A switch that was flipped that was saying, nah, I'm done with all that. Rah, rah, rah. I want to be in the house, right? I'm paying my rent every month. I'm going to be enjoying my house kind of energy. That's what Capricorn is. I'm going to be going to work. No, I can't hang out with you. No, I'm not staying out late. I have work in the morning, you know? That kind of energy. Taking care of your, like I said, spiritual body, getting more sleep is what I'm getting as well. But yeah, Capricorn is 10th house energy. So it's like career. Capricorn is also ruled by Saturn. So it's definitely all those, like I said, themes of karma. I'm hearing sacrifice. Interesting. Maybe you were making a lot of sacrifices when it came to spending time with people or just yourself lately. You know what I mean? I was just watching a video before I started your reading, and there was like a guy on social media that I follow, and he was like, he was eating like pizza, dipping it in the ranch sauce. He had like wings and then like a burger and some tater tots in front of him. He's like, I'm getting in all my junk food before I have to start eating clean at the beginning of the year. And discipline is definitely Capricorn energy as well. So maybe you were someone who cut out all those foods and you spent the whole year just getting healthy, getting right with God. I don't know why I keep getting that. That's coming through for somebody here. Somebody went more religious, you know, or not even. You got closer to spirit, you know, source, divine energy, you know, because I'm getting somebody who went Pentecostal, somebody's getting closer to God. It's kind of like you went inward, right? It's giving like you got closer to your higher self as well, like a very spiritual energy that was surrounding you guys, okay? Okay, here we have first house, which is the self. It's you, who you are, and who you're meant to become, who you're growing into. So all those things were definitely big themes of your year. This was the year of you, like I said. Okay, here you have Gemini. Interesting. A lot of talking, joking. I'm hearing late night laughs. So maybe you did keep a few good friends close to you, but most of your friends went bye-bye is what I'm getting. And the few friends that did stay close, there's a lot of late night conversations, getting deeper. I'm hearing like getting to know each other again. Maybe this is in regards to a connection as well, right? Maybe you got deeper to your partner, your lover. Let me stop. But I'm getting that energy. I'm getting late night conversations. I'm hearing that song by John Legend, Conversations in the Dark, right? And this could also be conversations with you, yourself in the dark. This could also be conversations with God, spirit, source in the dark. It's like I said, it's giving quiet. It's giving peace. Introspection, that kind of thing. So there's something here about relearning yourself, relearning who you are in a partnership, or just relearning life. Yeah. But yeah, Gemini energy is giving me that. Conversations. But I'm hearing specifically in the dark, you know, at night, as SpongeBob would say. There's a lot of SpongeBob references coming through, I'm realizing in this reading. So some of you can be very big SpongeBob fans, because please, at night. Yeah. Conversations at night. Okay. I'm hearing praying as well. That's something coming through. Here we have Venus. So you were stepping into your Venusian energy this year. That's crazy, guys. Okay, so most of you spent this year solo, okay? Because I'm like, what cards do we have here that's like very feminine energy besides Athena? And she wasn't really known for being beautiful. She was known for being strategic, which is something you guys were definitely doing. Because like I said, we have this Devil, Judgment, 7 of Wands, 5 of Wands, being very strategic and competitive, you know? But then we have this energy here. We have Soteria. And when I looked at the word down here, I saw soltera. And at the dance place where I was like hosting this year, one of the songs I hosted the class for, or one of the classes I hosted, the song was Soltera by Shakira. And most of the people in the class were not Hispanic, did not speak Spanish, but my friend who was teaching the class does. And she was like, before we start class, we love to go around and like do a community question, like based on or in relation to the song, right? And she's like, how about first and foremost, I tell you what the song's about? Because for most of you, you guys probably don't know what it means. And soltera, she basically explained, was Shakira saying, I'm single, and women who are single in the Hispanic community are called like soltera. You know, that's how they are used. That's the word used to describe a single woman. Okay. So she's like, oh yeah, I'm on my own. I'm dancing at night, whatever. At night. Let me stop. Anywho. And that's what Shakira is basically saying in the song. I'm solo, I'm single, and I'm happy, and I'm dancing, and I'm beautiful, and I'm like, don't touch me, I'm by myself, and I'm loving it kind of energy, right? So I do believe this is like around the time that she like divorced her husband, his cheating behind. Anyway. And now she's single. So she's telling her family, I like being single. Yeah, I'm here by myself. What do you want? What about it? You know what I mean? I'm soltera. And that's what I saw here. So I do believe for most of you guys, you spent the year single. Focus on yourself, okay? But that was crazy how I saw it. And then it kind of like, it's like giving that scene in Percy Jackson where the hieroglyphs like change into words. He's able to read it. That's what it felt like for a second. Like I had dyslexia, okay? But yeah, soltera, single, by yourself, and happy, okay? Happily single. Venus, tapping back into who you are as a person. So that those conversations in the dark were with yourself. It's kind of like figuring out what you want. Journaling could also be a big thing coming through as well. I'm sorry this part of the reading is taking so long. And then here we have Neptune. Okay, Neptune coming through. And Neptune's all about dreams. Figuring out what you want for your life. And setting a course for that life. Okay? Neptune is 12th house energy, and 12th house is about the psyche. So it's kind of like I'm getting, how can I describe it? You are nurturing yourself. You are therapizing yourself. You could have been going to therapy. That could be something that was coming through as well. You guys could have been going to therapy. Maybe you guys are the therapist. Maybe you were being a therapist to yourself, whatever. All those things are coming through, you know, taking care of little you, deep inner you. Okay, the goddess within is what I just heard, period. That's coming through. And then let's get one card from this deck here to figure out what else we can get about what you were meant to learn this year. And then we have the sun. Yeah, I love this for you guys. It says, be patient, it will come. The sun, manifestation, power, 1111. Yeah, you guys were honing your skills. You were kind of like being very quiet, and you were like hankering down. It's like you were focusing on the voice within. I'm trying to figure out why the cards are coming out crooked. This just won't do. Okay, sorry. To fix that. Hopefully it looks better now. Okay, so yeah, that's what's coming through as well. The sun is also like the way her eyes are closed, and it's like she's meditating on something. It's like, yeah, you were meditating on something. 1111 could have been a big thing. It's like a reinitiation process is what I'm getting, is what I'm hearing exactly. It's like you were being initiated into a new something. The word is not coming, so we'll leave it there. Okay, let's push these up a little more. And then we'll get into what lessons you're meant to learn in this upcoming year. And I'm excited for this. I'm trying to remember me enamore. That's a song by Shakira coming through as well. I'm trying to remember what it means. It's kind of giving me like, hold on. Interesting. So I looked up the phrase me enamoré, and it means I fell in love. or it's loosely translated to I fell in love. Interesting. So yeah, you fell in love with you is kind of what I'm getting here, but some of you could have also fallen in love with someone else too, and those conversations in the dark was spent learning someone else as well. You know, that the intimacy, pillow talk kind of energy. Wasn't a big vibe coming through, but it could have been for some of you, because then we had Venus, and that's love. So self-love or the love of someone else. Aww. I was hearing burrowing into the love of someone else, like a warm hug. How cute. So small. I love that for you guys. Okay. No, but now let's move on. So please, Spirit, what is the lesson that my group 2s are going to learn next year? Okay. So we were all going through a transformation one way or another this year, because this is the year of the snake. Okay. And next year is going to be the year of the horse. So it's like finishing out a cycle. It's going to be a year 10. Okay. Or a year 1, as some people would say it. But I feel like we can't just jump from a year 9 to a year 1. It has to be a 10 in there somewhere. Then we go to 1. You know what I mean? An ending. So here we have the 3 of coins, the Morai. And I love this because these are the fates. Okay. So we have the 3 of coins, which is continuously building, steadily building upon something. Okay. My group. Ooh, choose, please, Spirit. What card is this? We have the Hangman, but it's coming out in reverse. So you're coming out of your shell a little bit more. You're coming out of your cocoon. You're coming out of your transformational period, right? And you're slowly building upon something that you... How can I describe it? It could be building upon something, but it's like you're finding a soul family of sorts, first of all, because the fates weren't who they were if they weren't together. You know what I mean? There was oracles, then there's the Morai, the fates, right? And they were who they were because each of them brought something to the table, and they were able to come out of their shell and move something along. So there could be like a soul sister or a soul tribe, a soul family you're meant to meet. And all of them have this little third eye open. So no more, you know, rowdy people. People can be rowdy and still be good people, but like no more people who are like wayward souls. I'm hearing, carry on my wayward son. That song is coming through. And the only reason I freaking know that song is because of Supernatural. Okay? I would have never known that was... Let me stop. I knew it was a song. I probably heard it like once in a blue moon back when I was younger, but I never would have like had any relation to the song. But you know, Dean loves his rock music, so Carry On My Wayward Son is coming through. But all these wayward souls who don't know where they're going, you're finding people who know where they're going, and you guys are meant to help each other along the way. That's going to be a big theme of your next year. Collaboration. Okay, no more hiding, being by yourself in your shell, in the Hangman energy. And I love how we had Pisces energy coming through before with the... or 12th house energy, I should say, which is Pisces energy period. But it's like giving, you're in that little cocoon of watching everything pass you by. You're in a learning phase. You're a student who is sitting in class for like 5 hours, right? And then when you finally leave that class, you're out of that like stasis. And now you're back into the real world. You go from student to, I guess, liver of life. I don't know how to explain it. But it's like someone who's in a module. You're stuck in a time capsule, and you're not able to come out and experience or change anything until that it's time for that time capsule to be opened, if that makes sense. Next year, it's going to be time for the time capsule to be opened, and you're going to be meeting people who are meant to help you along whatever journey you're supposed to step foot on in this next year, okay? I hope that made a lick of sense. I don't know how to you know, describe it any other way. That's the example Spirit gave. I'm sorry. But basically, you're coming out of this pause in your life, right? You're coming out of the pause, and you're finally going to be an active member of society again, okay? Here we have the Ace of Swords, chaos. Love that. There's something here about speaking up and speaking out is what I'm hearing as well. Starting new narratives? How is this trying to come through? Interesting. Starting a conversation about something. I'm also hearing controlling the narrative. There's something about that. So maybe there was like a blow up in your life in some kind of way. And now you're going to be controlling the narrative of what happened in that thing. You're going to finally be speaking your piece, your side is what I'm getting. Here we have the Wheel of Fortune. Look at that. Yeah, there's something here about fate and destiny, because we have this soul family coming through that you're destined to meet, right? As soon as you come out of this transformation, what is it called? Ooh, a good example I can use is the cocoon. Yeah, when you're the caterpillar that's bursting out of the cocoon as a butterfly, and you're no longer the caterpillar, so you cannot flock with caterpillars anymore. You have to go find a nice butterfly friend group, and you're finding the butterfly friend group here. But there's something that you're destined to do this next year, whatever it may be. Destiny is finding you in this next year, or you're gonna be finding your destiny. Ooh, bars, love that. This card also came out, and this is the Tower of Poseidon, but it came out in reverse. Don't fret, my pet. Okay. I feel like I sound like Steve Urkel. Don't fret, my pet. He used to love saying that ish to Laura. Like, leave her alone. Okay, sorry. Maybe you're finding you a Steve Urkel to worship you the way that man worshipped Laura. He would have done anything for her. Anything. Okay. I'm hearing a few songs coming through. I'm hearing anything, what? Anything for money. I'd lie for you, I'd die for you. I even sell my soul to the devil. Anything. That song is coming to a Michael Jackson, Money. And also I'm hearing, I'll do anything for love, but I won't do that. So a few songs are coming through. And there's also another song that was coming through, but I wasn't sure if it wanted to come through or not. This one's a little more shy. It's a Naked Brothers band song though. Is it gonna come through or not? No, it's not coming through. But I know it's a Naked Brothers band song. I just can't get the lyrics right. If you can make it through the rain is the song. If you can make it through the rain. Come on. You can make it through the sun. So hold on. You'll see what happens to you and me. If you can make it through the rain. There may be some anger, some pain, and some doubt. There will be something, some agony. But if you can make it through the rain, you can make it through the sun. So hold on. Yeah, that song's coming through. And I love how we have this actual sun coming through. I'm like, I know there's a song I want to come through by the Naked Brothers band, but what is it? Yeah. There's another song though. I feel like it's almost to come through, but we're going to leave it there. I'm not going to harp on it. But yeah. Okay, so we have all the cards out on the table. Like I said, Three of Wands. You're finding a soul family. You're finding people who you can kind of gel with, meld with. But the lesson for next year is collaboration, incorporation, and intention. You're going to continue cutting a few people off, I feel like, because we have her cutting the cord or wanting to. So maybe we're going to be threatening some people in your life. The people that are still left anyway, you're going to be threatening them like, hey, you better get it together or you're next kind of energy. That's hilarious. Please put the scissors away. Oh my goodness. Okay, then like I said, we have the Hangman. So this phase where it was just you, worried about you, building, growing, that pause you were in is going to be turned on its head, right? Prometheus always kind of gives me from the beginning vibe. So like I feel like you will be starting over like I said, a butterfly. You were living your life as a caterpillar. You went into the cocoon. Excuse me, not me stuttering. You went into the cocoon and you came out as a butterfly, and they have to learn how to navigate life as a butterfly, you know? And then we have the Ace of Swords. It's going to be, yeah, there's something here about communicating a tell-all story. Something about that. Your emergence from the dark is what I'm getting here with this chaos coming through. There's something here about her being like covered by shadow, but it seems like she's emerging from the dark in some kind of way. So yeah. Next year's going to be very, how can I even describe it? Interesting, very action-packed, very fulfilling is what I'm hearing as well. Okay. And then Wheel of Fortune. You know, the Wheel of Fortune is pretty self-explanatory. It has to do with fate. It has to do with destiny. It has to do with luck. It It has to do with things turning in your favor. That's a vibe coming through next year. So I kind of feel like maybe, how can I put it properly? Succumbing to certain things. I'm hearing you have to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away. So there could be something here about that coming through. You have to learn when to fold, when to let things just happen. So giving up control could be a thing coming through as well. Because the Wheel of Fortune, you don't control when it's going to happen and how it happens. You just know it's going to happen, you know? And then we have the Tower in reverse. So it's kind of like a reset or restart kind of thing. This year could have been your Tower moment. And now you're finally fully coming back from the Tower moment. This year was spent like grasping and growing and building things. Like your house is almost fully built. Next year is going to be fully built. It's kind of the energy coming through. You know what I mean? Interesting. And it's crazy how in the Hangman, this guy here is chained up. So like being released from these chains. And he's kind of like smiling. He's happy. He's also glowing. And we have the sun coming through here. It's the same kind of color scheme. So yeah, if you can make it through the rain, then you can make it through the sun. Just hold on. You'll see what happens to you and me. But yeah, you're definitely finding control in the chaos. Because when I'm looking at this card here with Poseidon, child, the way the raging sea and a stormy sea is the scariest thing I could ever imagine. Like thunderstorms are, you know, cool and everything. But can you imagine being completely surrounded by water? Like those scenes in the movies where the boats are kind of like and just like swaying and it's just all dark water and stormy seas. And oh my gosh, that is my worst nightmare. I cannot. I will never want to be in the middle of a raging sea. I don't care how secure the boat is. Take me now. I can't go through that ordeal. I can't. I'm sorry. That's my worst nightmare. That's what this is giving me here. Your worst nightmare is over. Look at the thunder. Look at the stormy sea. Like there's no harbor. Everything is thrashing. Everything is out of your control. There's nothing to hold on to. And we're finally getting this energy where there's certain things we can hold on to now. You know? It's like the calm after the storm where, you know, those hurricanes come. Hurricane Katrina. And how she left New Orleans, right? And how they're still building everything back. It's kind of giving me, but it's better than where it was when it happened, you know? That's what I'm getting. So fixing, perfecting, that kind of thing is going to be a big vibe for your next year. Oh my goodness. I just scared myself for no reason. Just like picturing myself. That's what your year was like though, I feel like. You were by yourself in that dark, stormy sea, trying to find some kind of purchase, trying to find land, trying to find something to make sense of all this chaos. That was going on. Oh, no, that's going to be your next year. Let me stop. But yeah, no, that was your year, and you're going to be finally controlling the chaos instead of it being, like, brought onto you. This is giving me revenge, and it's giving me retribution. This is what it's giving me. Y'all out here getting revenge on people? I love it. Let me stop. I grew up in a nice Christian household and they said revenge is mine, the Lord said, okay? But I'm the kind of bee, an Aries rising. Oh, I want the revenge for myself. So I'm cheering you on the side here while trying to remember the Lord said vengeance is mine, okay? But I'm still cheering you on. Just know that. And just on the side here. You can see? Okay, cool. It's giving revenge, it's giving retribution, it's giving tell all, it's giving blowing up people's spots, it's giving that. You're going to be creating this chaos in other people's lives. Great. We don't need that for you guys, okay? Oh boy, this is some stuff. Okay, next year, it's giving retribution, revenge. Look at you cutting some cords, cutting people's lives off. You know what this is giving me? There's like a specific, I'm trying to remember the show. Sorry. The show that it is. It's like some show where someone, you know, there's actually a show on ABC, I think it was called Revenge, where the girl grew up in like a very rich society, but someone came and unalived her parents when she was little, and she was like sent into foster care somewhere and ended up growing up to be a cop or something. And she came back to that same Hamptons area and sought revenge on all those mofos. It was a show on ABC, child. It was so good. I never finished it though. I have to go do that. I have to write that down, and go finish that Blaster show. But it's giving me that kind of thing. But there was something else, like another show or a movie where the girl's family was wronged by someone's family, and she wanted to. It could have been a book too, child. I feel like this trope has been used so many times, but basically, someone screwed you over, and you're getting revenge back on the family, the thing, the friend group, whatever it is. And things are about to get stirred up. You know what I mean? But like I said, it's giving us tell all. I'm hearing like Me Too. For the things that were done to you, you're finally like letting everybody have it, you know? You spent time getting right with God and getting right with yourself and source. And now it's time for things that are going to be done on your behalf, you know? By spirit, they're going to be doing things to people, or you're going to be doing it yourself. Either way, I don't know. But things getting... Okay, we have these two here. It says magic mushrooms. Stay open to the good and beautiful things. Miracles, fairy energy opening up. Look at that. How beautiful. You're opening up that cocoon, all right? You can't even see the blaster card. Let me move it over a little bit more. Okay, and then we have the Lover. So you guys are getting some love. I don't know. I was like, I don't know. I was getting that in some way. I don't know how that came through, but I feel like that energy is coming through for sure. And I love how we have 15 coming through again, that devil energy. Maybe this whole year was spent getting over a breakup. That could have been something as well. And rediscovering who you are. And now you're going to be finding that good love in this next year. That's going to be a theme. But magic mushrooms and miracles, opening up is probably giving me that. Opening yourself up to the good things that can happen in life and love, you know? Okay, so a Lover. It says Aphrodite, passion, abundance. So this doesn't have to be a lover for all of you, right? It could just be you rediscovering that feminine side of yourself. You know what I mean? Loving on yourself even more. You're blossoming into a flower. You were a bud the whole time. Now you're going to be a flower. Oh, that name gives me the heebie-jeebies. Please. Okay, sorry. It says, it is safe to surrender to the good feelings. Oh, I love this. So stay open to the good and beautiful things, and it is safe to surrender to the good feelings. So some of y'all could be falling in love in this next year. That's going to be a theme coming through. I'm going to do these dice again to see what's coming through. But yeah. Oh, this is so beautiful, though. I like this. But I love how we have that coming through, and then we have the Wheel of Fortune. So miracles is definitely going to be a thing for you guys next year. And the thing about miracles, you never know how it's going to happen and where it's coming from, but you just know it's happening. So just be able to look out for that. Good things are happening. Stay open. Okay, it's safe for you to surrender. And then 7 here is a Chariot card, but it's also, I'm taking it more 7th house energy. And 7th house in relation to the Lover is partnerships, getting married, engagements, contracts, stuff like that, you know, forever person type stuff, okay? Here we have Jupiter, so that's another confirmation that things are going to get very abundant for you guys financially, right? Because like I said, you were focusing on your Capricorn energy in this pile up here. So there's going to be some abundance, and now I'm seeing 10th house energy coming through. So we have Jupiter and we have 10th house, okay? Interesting. And I do believe Jupiter is 10th house energy. It's the career, it's expansion, it's abundance. And I love how we have the Wheel of Fortune, which is things growing and moving in your favor. And then we have Jupiter, which is the great benefic. It touches everything it touches, it blooms and blossoms and grows. So, and it's funny how I was talking about you being a little bud, and you're going to be growing and blossoming into a full garden or a flower. Okay, look at those. A lot of those themes keep coming through. Here we have 69. Some of y'all can be getting some good in this year. Okay, or next year, sorry. Excuse my French, okay? You're going to be in some good in next year because you were in a whole dry spell this year, child. You're going to get some good in. Or you could have been in a dry spell longer than that, okay? Something here about 10 years could be important as well. Maybe you're going to be 10 years sober, 10 years celibate, 10 years abstinent, 10 years, you know, whatever. 10 years is important, okay? A 10-year anniversary, something like that. But I don't know why I picked it up and saw 69 immediately, but this is Cancer energy. And the Cancer is all about those ooey gooey feelings. It's all about the home, the house, the partner in the home. It's more so about the home, But of course, the partner in the home. There could be something here about like you moving somewhere bigger, right? Getting a bigger house. That could be something coming through as well. Getting more space. But Cancer is all about who you are within, the ooey gooey soft center of you. And we have opening up coming through in this card here. So that's coming through as well. Fairy energy is also very specific. It's something that's very playful. So maybe you were very serious this year, or the mood and theme of your year was very serious. There could have been fun times had during the year, but the overall theme was serious. I think the overall theme is kind of like loosening up. It's going to be more airy and light, more playful, you know? More optimistic is going to be the vibe of your next year, the themes anyway, okay? Here we have Venus coming through again. So love is going to be a big thing for you guys in this year as well, especially because we have the Lover, and I was getting a vibe of love. I don't know why, and I still can't explain it, but it's coming through. Where are the other dice? Okay, and then here we have Libra, right? So finding some equilibrium, finding some balance, okay, finding some harmony. It's also 7th house energy once again, which is contract. So that's this collaboration coming through. You're going to be signing contract with somebody here because we have the Mirai and collaboration building something. So you could actually be building a house. Some of you could have like really be building your own house, you know, from scratch, right? But Libra, it's all about aesthetics. So that would make a lot of sense if you're moving into a new place. The aesthetics of your life and how it looks and feels is going to be very important to you, right? More luxury is what I'm getting as well, because Libras love their luxury. So do, and that's Venus, and that's Libra, exactly. I was gonna say so do Taurus, and they're like, they love luxury and nice, good things and smelling good and feeling good. I think that's more Libra's thing, and like charming people and flirting. So I do believe we're going to be very open, flirtatious kind of energy, and that's going to be the theme of your year, whether it leads to anything serious or not. Just being more light, you know. I'm hearing birds of a feather flock together, light as a feather, that kind of energy. And that song is coming through by Sabrina Carpenter. I feel so much better like a feather with you off my mind. That song's coming through. So yeah, someone's going to be off your mind. Some of you really were going through a harsh breakup, right? Someone you could have been with for a long time, 10 years maybe. And you're finally like getting over that. Cancer could be an important sign, and Libra could be an important sign coming through. Capricorn could also be an important sign. That's 10th house. Venus, Taurus, Libra, and then Jupiter is Pisces and Sagittarius, okay? I do want to do this one again because I can't find the other one. So another house, 7th house energy coming through again, yeah. Long-term connections or partnerships are coming through here. Contracts, signing contracts, right? That is like signing a lease or something like that. You know what I mean? Getting a loan for something could be coming through as well. But I love how we have your life's going to be full of passion, abundance, a lover, and someone you feel safe to open up to, okay? So yeah, that's what I have for you guys. I hope it resonated. If it did, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the tribe. We'd love to have you. If you would ever like to book a personal reading, you could always do so using my email in the description box below. It is 5:55 on the clock right now, so a lot of big changes, and these things are all fated with the Wheel of Fortune coming through. Things that were meant to happen. This is the year for you guys. This is your year, okay? This was like a very quiet year. This year could have been very quiet. It could have been very prosperous, very beautiful, all about learning and wisdom. This year is going to be about living and experiencing and just like luxury and like a new home, that new home feeling, you know, finally getting out of that dark, damp, you know, heavy energy, right? Maybe some of you are going to be attracting, you're going to be a fairy, you know, she was a fairy kind of energy. You're going to be flying out there, causing mischief, sparkling. It's giving like blessing other people's lives if you have the money to do so, or the funds or the resources. You're going to be blessing other people's lives. But anyway, I'm sorry. I'm getting distracted. But yeah, if you want to book a reading, you could use my email in the description box below to get a more personalized version of this if you wanted. That's something that I could do as well. But if you are interested in my memberships, I do have those available as well. You can join using the link right above the timestamps in the description box. I have 2 videos now up and more to come, okay, if you're interested. But yeah, I hope you're having a beautiful, wonderful day whenever you're watching this reading. And as always, I will see you gorgeous people in the next one. Mwah. Bye. Hello, my gorgeous group 3s. Welcome to your reading. Thank you for joining me here today. In today's reading, we're going to be getting into what lesson were you meant to learn this year versus the lesson you were meant to learn. Oh, the lesson you're meant to learn next year. Not you were meant to learn. Don't be skipping over 2026 like that. We haven't even gotten there yet. Jeez, Lord. Okay, so let's get right into it. So what lesson were you meant to learn this year? For my group 3s. I just heard patience, so that could be something. Well, specifically, I heard patience, patience. The Stormy video that kind of went viral on social media. Okay, please, Spirit, what lesson were my group 3s meant to learn this year? I'm hearing patience and control because the deck is acting real crazy and I have to fight to make sure it stays right, okay? So you have Two of Swords and Nemesis. Ooh, interesting. This girl right here, there's something here about having to balance something as well. Because when I was reading up on Nemesis, she a real hater. She a big hater. Like, she's literally there just to make sure people's life don't get too good. Like, who does that? We don't need a god or goddess for this. What the heck? Like, I'm trying to remember who she's meant to oppose, literally. Like, there's a goddess of, like, good luck and prosperity. And then there's this hoe here, this heifer, who's there to make sure your life is not too good. Like, how dare you? How dare you? But anyway, she a big hater, I'm telling you. But let's see what else is coming through for you guys. The message is not too clear, so maybe it's going to take some time. Here we have Artemis, Temperance. Artemis, the goddess of the hunt. Then we have Seven of Coins, Calliope. And then we have Knight of Coins, Zephyros. The Knight of Coins is definitely that patience being reiterated right there. Temperance is the balance that I was talking about. Maybe you were going back and forth between life was a little too good versus life is alright. Like, I'm trying to like articulate that properly. Because temperance is like you're trying out a bunch of different things until you find what works for you. This is like my Goldilocks card, where she was running around, please, can you relax? Okay. She was running around trying out all those bears stuff. She was trying Papa Bears, nah, that's too hot. She was trying Mama Bear, nah, that's too cold. Then she was trying little baby bears, and oh, this is just right. She was trying all their foods, their beds, their chairs. Like, who does girl think she is, first of all? But I digress. We have Temperance, which is we're trying out a little bit of everything until we find the perfect mixture, the perfect, anecdote, the perfect recipe. There it is. I'm like, there's something I'm trying to say. The perfect recipe. Okay, so you were trying out a bunch of different stuff, and that took patience and control. I'm also hearing resilience, so that could be coming through as well. Those are the lessons you were meant to learn. So I'm getting y'all had some haters, or you had some little ups and downs where life was like really good and then it kind of got boring or it kind of got bad and then it got really good again. And I kind of feel like you have to do a controlled experiment is what I'm getting, to see why, if your decisions or life or actions had anything to do with when life got really good versus when it got really bad. Kind of what I'm getting is like giving an experiment kind of vibes, right? Where one thing stays the same and we're changing all these other controlled substances. Or no, that's not, the controlled substance doesn't change. I forgot. We learned this in science and I've been in school for a long time, child. But basically, you were running a controlled experiment where one thing stays the same and one thing is changing, and you're literally trying to figure out what's the right recipe for me to do what I need to do to get what I want, kind of energy, if that makes any sense. So one time you made some Kool-Aid, for example, and the Kool-Aid was the best thing you ever had in your life. You was drinking it down, you was guzzling it, you was just living. Life was so good. That was the best Kool-Aid you've ever made in your life. But you didn't write down the particular measurements, right? So the next time you made some Kool-Aid, you didn't put as much sugar, or you don't remember how much you put. So it's like, okay, now I'm just like testing it out, right? And I made another batch of Kool-Aid. It's not given what that first one was given. Now you're stuck like for the rest of the year figuring out what perfect concoction you made to get that first perfect Kool-Aid. And sometimes the Kool-Aid was disgusting and not enough sugar. Sometimes it was too much sugar. Sometimes not enough bitters. Because my grandma loved to put bitters in the Kool-Aid. I'm like, Grandma, please. That's so Caribbean of you. She was putting bitters in it to give a little bit of taste, right? And it's like sometimes it's giving that. Sometimes she really do be making it and it's so good. And the next time I'm like, I don't like it as much as the last time. What did you do last time? And of course, she's not going to remember because she wasn't measuring it that one time. So this whole year was you trying to get that perfect feeling, that perfect Kool-Aid guzzle gulp, that perfect recipe again. You know what I mean? And that could be taken in the literal sense where you were trying to perfect the recipe this whole year. But I'm more still getting your life kind of thing, not food. Some of you could be cooks and chefs and you were trying to find the perfect recipe for your cookbook, whatever. Like, what are we doing, guys? Behave yourself. But that's kind of what I'm getting. You were trying to find the perfect concoction. No, that won't do. That looks a little better. But yeah. But they don't look straight. Just give me a second, guys. Look at this, trying to find the right way to make it look straight. Like it looks straight the way I have it right here, but it isn't all because the phone itself is crooked. That'll do it. Okay, now we're good. That's literally what you guys were doing this year. Let me move back a little bit because it was my tummy that bumped into the tripod that knocked it over. So maybe less tummy next time? Yes, that will do. Okay, so here we have the Queen of Wands, Psyche. Very interesting. Okay. So we have the Two of Swords, Temperance. So this is like a crossroads. You could have started your year at a crossroads for some of you, where you were constantly in the middle or going through the motions of, like I said before, life getting really good and then turning really bad. And you're trying to figure out if you had any effect on those, conditions of life. So you guys were basically conducting an experiment this whole year. That was what you were meant to learn. If I do a little bit of this and a lot of that, and then a little dazzle of this, life will be great. If I do too much of this, too much worrying, too much, hemming and hawing, too much sitting around and waiting, it's not going to work out for me. If I put a little bit of action behind it, some intention, a little bit of discipline, consistency, you see what comes out of it and what happens. That's what I'm getting. So yeah, you were building a recipe. The recipe being your perfect life and how to feel great about yourself every day. That's kind of what this is giving me, honestly, where you would wake up some days and not feel fulfilled. And you have to figure out the perfect mix of actions and intentions and goals and just letting things happen to find that perfect temperance energy. That, what is it called? There's a word for it. I can't think of it right now. At that perfect melting point or melting pot, whatever, of things, you're putting all these things together to make the perfect outcome for your life. And that's kind of what I'm getting. So you were in a very analytical phase this year. Can I get one more card, please, Spirit? What were the themes of their year? I need a little bit of help with this one here. The messages aren't flowing as easily as they were in group 1 and group 2. Here we have Page of Coins, Hormy. I hope that's how you pronounce her name. I'm never 100% sure. Okay. 7 of Coins, building. But it's also investing. That's kind of what I'm getting. You were just doing a whole bunch of, will this do? Will that work? Experimenting. Yep, we'll leave it at that. And it took patience, which is one of the things you had to learn. You were meant to learn this year. A lot of faith in yourself, a lot of confidence in yourself as well, and your capabilities. Because sometimes when you're doing experiments, things go to plan and sometimes they don't, right? And you have to just keep doing it over and over again, Some of you could be scientists and you were actually doing experiments in a lab somewhere. But whatever this or however it pertains to your life and what you're experimenting on, it's giving sooner or later you kind of got somewhere, because we have like a lot of coins. So slow and steady wins the race. Maybe you're still conducting these experiments. You don't know when you're going to find the perfect bit of whatever to make it taste good or feel good, but you're still trying. You know what I mean? But you were meant to learn consistency and intention and not giving up on what you want, right? Because Artemis is the goddess of the hunt, and she's on the hunt for something. And she hasn't found it yet if she's still on the hunt for it, right? I feel like you guys are still on the hunt for something. You haven't found it. But you're kind of leaving this year a little bit more confident than you started it. At least, hopefully, thankfully, is the vibe I'm getting here at the Queen of Wands. Because you believe in yourself. You know you can do it now. Maybe before you were just like, I'm not sure if I could get it done. But you know you can do it because you got that perfect outcome the first time or whenever you did. And now it's like, I know I can get it done, right? Let's get a card from here, because these cards are not helping. They're being very stubborn. Maybe that's something you were meant to do this year as well. Be a little bit unreadable. Here we have a rebirth. It says, shedding the chrysalis, taking risks. It's time to leave the old behind. Ooh. You were definitely doing that. And we have 13, which is the card of death. So that makes a lot of sense. Maybe leaving things behind. And learning that it's okay to like start over is what I'm getting as well. Because if there's like something you're doing and it's like not working out for you, it's okay to say, this is not my thing, let's move on, you know? So maybe like you're trying to find your thing, your shtick, your niche, your whatever you want to call it. And it's taking a lot of like trial and error is the vibe that I'm getting here. And you're learning that it's okay to leave the old behind and move on to new things, right? Okay. Can I get another card for what they're meant to learn this year? I think your reading is pretty straightforward. And here it has the Voyager. Yeah, it's okay to forget and then remember all over again. Return home, lessons, realizations. So that's a big thing for your year as well. And that's kind of what I was like alluding to with the whole concoction thing, where you forgot what you did. And then you may have remembered and it wasn't quite right. And it's okay to not remember and then forget and then remember all over again. It's okay to have good days and have bad days and have horrible days and then wake up and have a good day. You don't have to find the perfect recipe to always have a good day. That's not life. You know, it's not realistic. And that could be something you were meant to learn. Interesting. That's actually really powerful, actually, honestly. Because, yeah, life is not always going to go great, but take the good days as they come. Take the bad days as they come, and just keep pushing on with the Seven of Pentacles coming through here, Knight of Coins, Page of Coins. Keep pushing on. Maybe one day your business is doing great. The next day it's not. One day at work is amazing. The next day it's not. That's life. It's up and down. You got to take it as it comes. There's no such thing as like the perfect day over and over again. Or is there? But you were doing a lot of like traveling. You were doing a lot of like learning. You were doing a lot of maybe self-work this year. Because with Rebirth and the Voyagers, you trying to find something. And coming to terms with you having to leave something behind. That could be what the year was about. You having to come to terms with the fact that you have to leave something, someone behind. And it's kind of like someday you will, how can I even describe this? This is not coming out right. Or it is, I don't know. I hope you understand what I mean. But how can I describe it? I'm hearing Groundhog Day. I think that's the movie. I haven't seen that, but I think it's the movie where the guy wakes up. Is it Tom Hanks' character? And he's living the same day over and over again. And he's trying to figure out why. And I don't know how it ends, so I don't know how to wrap this up in a pretty bow for you. Oh, Lord. oh, this is stressing me out. Maybe that's like just something like life is unpredictable and you're never going to find the perfect recipe to deal with life. You just got to keep pushing. I'm going to have to leave it right there, Get up every day and do whatever you can. Do the best you can. Sometimes your best is all that you can give and all that you can do. As long as you gave every day your best, that's all that mattered. Could also be a lesson you were meant to learn as well. But there could be something here about like shedding old versions of yourself as well, because we have rebirth and then we have it's okay to forget and then remember all over again. So maybe one day you wake up and forget who you are, and then the next day you remember. And that could be what the difference between having a perfect day and having a not so perfect day was for you. You trying so hard to become this new person, but kind of like falling back into old patterns and routines. And when your life would go bad, you're kind of like, oh, that's probably why I got back into old routines. But it's kind of hard for you, but it's okay for you to forget who you are for a little bit, as long as you eventually remember, It's important to get to the point where you like forget who that person was altogether and just step into this new world and this new, I guess, reality, I hope that makes sense. Let's get these dice. They might help me, child. Please, Spirit, give me some more clarity. Here we have Leo. So we have confidence. It was a big thing. You were meant to learn and lean more into your confidence. Okay. Here we have Mercury, communication. Confidence in communicating what you want, asking for what you want. I'm hearing wearing your heart on your sleeve as well. Here we have the moon. So emotions were definitely a big thing. Your emotional body was a big thing you had to kind of, I guess, come to terms with or connect with this year. Maybe it's giving logic versus heart, and you have to learn how to find that balance between what your heart wants you to do and what your head wants you to do. Because we had so much about logic and recipes and experiments coming through. And it's kind of like when your brain defaults to trying to explain everything and make everything make sense, that's when we get in trouble. When we follow our natural impulses, Queen of Wands, when we use our, know-how, or not even know-how, when we use our instincts instead of analyzing everything and trying to make it make sense, kind of energy. That's when we reach or come to blockages, I feel like. Instead of when you go with the natural order of things, maybe you're hard-headed. That's what I was saying. There was something here about patience and control of something, and you having to release that control or that stubborn nature that you guys have. But yeah, like not so much logic, more so emotions, following your emotions. Following your bliss, maybe even. Going out on a limb is what I'm hearing. Maybe some of you like kind of went out on a limb a lot this year, and that's something you were meant to do. Life was fun when you would get up every day and live spontaneously or just do whatever your heart wanted you to do. And then life wasn't so fun when you got back into that energy of overthinking everything. You see, that's a good example. I think I'm going to stick with that for now. That's the themes or what you were meant to learn this year, that life is so much better when you go with your creative or like just baser instincts and impulses. Besides, life is so much better when you go with your baser instincts and impulses rather than listening to what your head has to say all the time, and you have to find that, yes, you have to find that equilibrium between the two. That's when you get that when you hit that right, hold on, because that sounded wrong. That's how you get that perfect or happy medium, Okay. Here we have Cancer coming through. And then we have 5th house. So yeah, creation, having fun, romance. That was your thing. Releasing control, period. I feel like. Stop being that fuddy-duddy energy all the time and like having fun was a big theme you were meant to learn. And you see how it took me so long to get to what the meat and potatoes of the reading? That's how long it took you guys. Get it together, please. Because I'm sitting here fighting for my life. There's something about it that doesn't understand letting loose, having fun, not being responsible and rigid all the time. There doesn't always have to be rules. Sometimes you can just get up and go. And you're like, get up, go? Don't understand. Does not compute. And that's something you're, let me stop. Y'all not raggedy, but your hard-headed behinds had to learn this year. Just let loose, have fun, let go, let life happen. Let go and let God, child. Please. Thank you. Okay. Oh boy. We have a lot about emotions coming through here. The Leo rules with their heart. They lead with their heart. The moon is all about who you are on the inner spectrum, like your emotional being, your emotional body, what you need to be emotionally safe and fulfilled and regulated. And then we have the 5th house, which is Leo energy coming through again, but it's Leo energy, not even personified, but in action. A Leo who's just full of heart and love and life. What will a Leo be doing? 5th house activities, frolicking on the beach, going on a vacation, kissing a random stranger, creating chaos, wanting everything to be about them. Queen of Wands energy. And that's something, stepping into the spotlight. That's one thing the Leo's gonna do, is have all eyes on them. And that's something you could have been learning as well this year. See, it's all coming together. It took so long. It's been 84 years, I feel like, but it came through. Hallelujah. If you're still with me, put a praying hands in the comments. Let me stop. Put a Leo symbol or a lion, because Lord, if we finally got here, we made it. Jesus. Yeah, there could be something here more about like how can I put this? Like, because you see how we have 5th house here, and that's all about romance and playfulness, and then we have the 69 coming through the way I placed it down. I could have very well placed it down like that and nothing would have came through it, but I placed it down in the position where it says 69. And if you're grown, if you're nasty, you know what 69 is. So that's kind of what I'm getting as well. I'm hearing pleasing both sides of you. So maybe there's a rational side to you and more irrational side to you. They're both fighting for dominance. And this year was all about finding that equal footing between those two sides of you. It's okay to be a little irrational and it's okay to be overly rational, but you can't be too much of one thing and not enough of the other one. You know what I mean? But yeah, maybe you were spending more time, frolicking. Maybe you were spending more time effing, as opposed to that part of you that was like, no, we have to do this and we have to do that. We have to be responsible and go to work and come home and sleep. And you're kind of like, the other side of you's like, what about the fun? And the other side of you's like, what about the fun? That ain't got nothing to do with me. Like, you know what I mean? I hope it makes sense in some kind of way, okay? But that's what's coming through for you guys. So I'm going to leave it right there, okay? Like shedding the chrysalis, it's time for you to come out of your shell and take risks. That's another thing that was coming through as well. The Queen of Wands isn't afraid to be seen, isn't afraid to be villainized, isn't afraid to be the center of attention, isn't afraid to ask for what she wants, isn't afraid to go after what she wants, isn't afraid to ask for help or demand help on the way to what she wants. Yeah. So fun and play is what's coming through here. And really going after what you want with the Temperance energy, Artemis coming through. There's something you wanted and it was time for you to go hunting for it. And you were kind of like, but I've never went hunting before. And Spirit was like, well, you have to start someday. And you were like, I bet. And you started going hunting. Now you're kind of like a prime hunter coming through. There's something here about finding yourself in the hunt, in the thirst for knowledge and life, and something about that coming through, right? The Voyager, yeah. You were in your big Sag energy this year. Your big Sag, Scorpio, and Leo energy this year. That's coming through very strongly, I feel like, for you guys. So there we have it. Now we can move on to the next part of the reading because, Lord, it took us forever. You guys are stubborn as heck. Please, it took you a while to learn this lesson as well, is what I feel like is coming through too. Because then here we have the Voyager. Maybe there's something here about you trying to drag your feet in some kind of way, because 10 is Wheel of Fortune, and Wheel of Fortune is a turn for the positive, a turn for the better, destiny, fate. You can't, that's one thing you can't really control, your fate and your see, now that's where the logic comes in, because logically you should be able to control your destiny, right? But metaphysically, it's kind of like certain things were meant to happen in your life, and no matter how hard you try, you can't stop them from happening. If you're meant to have a child in this world, you see, that's where I kind of get, I understand y'all group 3. I feel like I am you. Because I'm kind of like, okay, in the spiritual realm somewhere, I'm meant to have a spiritual baby. What if I don't want a baby? Is it going to happen anyway? Because if I'm actively not having any kind of relationship with a man, how will I have a baby? Am I going to get raped to have this baby? What's up? And that's where I'm kind of like, what do you mean I can't control my destiny? That's where I want to start fighting. So I get you guys, group 3, but it's kind of like, hopefully that's not the case in this, circumstance, because please, I would fight. I'll help y'all, fight. But I'm kind of getting that kind of energy. We're kind of like, I don't control my own destiny. Yes, I do. But the more you try to control it, the more your life just goes off the rails. You're kind of like, oh no, what did I do wrong? You want to control things too much. Letting go of control is where you thrive, guys. Where you have to learn to thrive. Yeah, okay, I'm done. I'm done trying to figure y'all out, y'all. Y'all difficult people. Let's move on. Okay, please, Spirit, can you tap me into the energy of what they're going to learn in 2026? I can try to be cute for y'all and do a shuffle, but I don't want to knock things over again. So maybe being more cautious could be something coming through as well. But I'm also hearing Dory, just keep swimming, just keep swimming. No matter how hard things get, just keep swimming. Could be definitely a thing that you were learning as well. Okay, let's get into it. So lessons in 2026. What are they meant to learn next year? What? All those cards flying out? Don't mind if I do. Here we have 10 of Swords. Melpomene? Nope, I've never heard this girl before in my life. Here we have the 6 of Coins, Thea. Here we have the 7 of Swords, the Erinyes. I know these are retribution. So getting some revenge could be a thing coming through as well. And then we have the 5 of Wands. The 5 of Wands has come out for every group, hey? Really? But in reverse. So, yeah. Okay. Give me a second. Just move these back a little so they can all fit. This is a very... You guys... I don't like this for y'all now. Because what is the issue, dear? Okay. Can I get one more card, please? Spirit, one more card for my... Oh, Jesus Christ. And here we have Death. Okay. Big Daddy Death. Thanatos. What's up, boy? What's up, boy? Okay. And then here we have 6 of Cups and the 8 of Cups in reverse. Okay. Oh, boy. 6 of Cups and 6 of Coins. Interesting. So harmony is going to be a big theme for your next year because 6s kind of give me harmony, okay? Or balance, equilibrium, that kind of thing. What is 6 in the tarot? 6, the Lovers. So decisions, choices. It's going to be another year of big choices as well. Okay, so let's get into it. So this might be too many cards, but I gotta understand what is coming through here for you guys. So we have the 10 of Swords, okay? So painful ending. So yeah, you haven't released things. I feel like you guys are so like stubborn. It takes like actual physical pain or a lot for you to let go of things because you are so strong. You've probably been through a lot emotionally that you can fare longer than most people can. And Spirit is like, there's no need for you to do all of that. There's no need for there to be pain, for there to be brilliance or passion or like, come on now. There's no need for you guys to go through so much pain for you to feel like you earned something. It's kind of the vibe coming through here. You don't have to get to the point of the 10 of Swords for you to finally say, yes, that's enough pain. I can finally release and let go now. That's like preposterous, guys. What's going on here? Please. I can't. It's like you purposely make things hard for no reason. Not too much on you, but come on. 6 of Coins is an energy of just receiving, like letting people give to you. And you could have a hard time doing that. You think you have to earn someone something. Whether it's love, whether it's affection, whether it's money, whether it's their care, their whatever. You don't have to earn anything. And that's what you're going to be learning next year. Jeez Louise, you guys are stressing me out. Like, it's giving Drake and Josh headaches. You give me headaches. Then we have the 7 of Swords. Like, the Erinyes, however you pronounce their name, their retribution. They're coming to get revenge. What are you guys seeking revenge for? Oh boy. I'm gonna have to get all y'all stuff out at the same time because we're gonna be here forever. Okay, please, Spirit, what is gonna be the themes of my group threes next year? What's the lessons they're gonna be learning next year? I'm gonna have to have everything in front of me, child, because here we have yin and yang. That makes a lot of sense. Finding some balance, thank you. And then we have breaking into bloom. It says time, liberation, understanding. So there's going to be some understanding next year, thank God. And then at the bottom, we have the fairy. It says, darling, don't you remember? You're a bad ASS. Keep winging it. The fairy, blessings flow, magical energy. Okay, so maybe you feel like you have to have everything figured out, and that's something that's not true. And that's why you cause so many problems for yourself, because you don't go after something or do something until it's perfect or until it's to your liking. And that's not always the case. It's giving me how people on TikTok be saying, like, I feel like the less, how can I describe it? The less effort you put into your video, the better it does. When you take too much time and spend too much time perfecting it and making it perfect, and just for it to flop, it breeds a lot of frustration. It's kind of like quantity over quality is, I think, the thing for TikTok. Just bust, if you have the time to sit there and, or you've had like you perfected a method where you're able to bust out a bunch of like high quality content back to back to back to boost your, probability of being on the For You page, and then people coming back and whatever, you know what I mean? But when you're just starting out, don't try to sit there and make everything perfect. Just bust it out, bust it out, bust it out. You know what I mean? And you're like, oh no, it has to be just to my liking. For why? Like that, then it's not fun anymore. Fun was your theme of 2025. Do not bring that mess into 2026 where it's like, oh, bring back the logic. No, we need less of that, please. And more following your gut, more of like allowing people to give to you. Stop being so stubborn, guys. Y'all are pissing me off for real, because I'm like, what is the message here? And I'm fighting for my life. Let me get the dice really quickly. Please, Spirit, what are they going to be learning next year? Lessons. We have North Node. Okay, so destiny coming through again. We have the sun, which is happiness. It's who you are. What the heck? Oh, please. We have Jupiter. We have first house. And where's the other one? We have Libra. So a lot about balance coming through, because we had yin and yang. It says unity, balance, energy, manifestation. I am in divine flow and move in alignment. Okay. I'm hearing breaking free from High School Musical. We're breaking free, soaring, flying. There's not a star in heaven that we can't reach. Come on. If we're trying, yeah, we're breaking free. So that song is coming through. So there's something here about breaking free from something. I just saw 33. I thought I saw 33, but that's not what's on the timestamp. So seeing things, oh my. Delusions could be something coming through as well. Okay, let's get these cards down. Okay, so death is something here about transformation. So you're still transforming. You have not learned a lesson you were meant to learn yet. It's kind of what I'm getting. And it may lead to like a frustration or like a painful ending. You know what I mean? Five of Wands in reverse. No more fighting or competing. There's something here about not thinking you're good enough is what's coming through as well with the Five of Wands in reverse. You don't think you're good enough with death. It's like having to continuously go through transformations. I'm trying to figure out why these are not coming out straight. Don't piss me off. Oh, because y'all appear aren't straight. That's why. Y'all was looking at crooked cards the whole time. I'm sorry. Okay. I hope that's a little bit better. Five of Wands. Yeah, everything doesn't have to be perfect. Stop pitting yourself against other people. It's something that's coming through as well. Retribution. Seven of Swords, like being sneaky and not letting people know what you're doing, you know? Then we have the Eight of Cups in reverse, not running away. And then we have Six of Cups, which is also more about harmony, more about balance, more about nostalgia. So inner child is coming through as well. And then it says yin and yang. So yeah, balancing the divine feminine, the divine masculine is what's coming through here for you guys. But there is something here about you going to like a painful ending, a break. Something's coming through about that. I can't sugarcoat it, because we have the breaking into bloom, which says sometimes you will break before you bloom. And the first card that came out for you guys is the Ten of Swords, which is about breaking. Betrayal, and which is Seven of Swords as well. So there's something here about betrayal, overcoming betrayal in the next year. That's going to be what your, I guess, lesson is. This is so interesting. I don't know what's going on anymore. Like, huh? Time, liberation, understanding. Unity, balance, energy, manifestation. Okay, so there's something here about all this confusion. There's going to be some light shed upon it. So there's going to be some understanding. And maybe you're finally going to understand what you were meant to learn all this time. Like, it's like something's finally going to be like, oh my gosh, there it is. Now it makes sense. Jeez Louise, this is some stuff going on here. Like, usually I can look at a bunch of cards and the message comes together, but it seems like all these cards are like, I can't even energetically fighting against the other card. Like, no, we don't mean that. No, we don't mean that. If you want, like, you're at war with yourself, or at war with someone. You know what I mean? That's coming through. I'm hearing that song by Kanye West where he's like, we're at war with something-ism. We're at war with something-ism, two isms, but mostly racism. But mostly we're at war with ourselves. And then it goes into Jesus walks, God show me the way, because the devil's trying to break me down. That song is coming through here. So I don't know if y'all are going through spiritual warfare, if you're going through war within yourself. Like, I don't know what it is, but there's some stuff that's going down. It's been going down, right? We have Nemesis. You know what this is giving me? It is giving me spiritual warfare type-ish. It is giving me spiritual warfare. It's kind of giving me you're fighting against yourself and who you're supposed to be becoming spiritually, or you're not doing enough, or there's someone literally here that's sabotaging y'all. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, it's giving, no matter how many things you try, no matter how many lessons you learn, things seem to be going wrong. It's giving me those people who be in my comments like, I tried this and I tried that. My life is so horrible. And I'm just like, wait, what do you mean? And I'm just like, I don't even know how to respond to those people sometimes, because what am I supposed to say? I've never been in that down and out energy before in my life. God forbid, knock on wood, I ain't trying to be in that. But I'm like, how do you help someone or respond to a comment saying such like dark things? I'm like, I'm sending you love and light, I promise. But I'm just like, no matter what you do, things just seem to always be painful and seem to always be hard. You know what I'm going to tell y'all? Y'all need to go see you a little witch doctor, something, a psychic, to figure out what the heck is going on. Someone more powerful than I. Because the cards are not cutting it. Because no matter what the cards are saying, it's not giving one cohesive message. It's giving pain, Ten of Swords, Six of Coins, like charity, people doing nice things for you, right? Then we have the Seven of Swords. How does this tie into Six of Coins? Like, there's going to be people plotting against you and people also helping you. That's not a lesson. That's not a lesson. Like, Then we have Death, which is a transformation. We got that because we have the Ten of Swords here, the ending to something, right? A painful end at that. Betrayal is something coming through as well. But this is not giving what lessons you're meant to learn. How to overcome betrayal. How to overcome someone plotting against you. How to find retribution. But then, okay, I'm gonna leave it at that. Because, yeah, and then we have the Five of Wands in reverse. Like, it's kind of like giving vengeance isn't yours. Vengeance is mine, said the Lord, okay? But if you're fighting against that, then what do you want someone to do? Vengeance is the Lord's, not yours. It's not going to find revenge on people because it's not going to work out in your favor. Life's going to get harder because you're not like, either you're not submitting and you're not learning from your mistakes, or I don't know what to say. Because the energy is kind of giving me the same as what you were learning in 2025. So it's giving the same lesson coming out in a different font because you didn't learn the lesson in 2025. That's what I'm getting, honestly. There's nothing more that I could say. Six of Cups is definitely giving something here. Six of Cups, Six of Coins is positive forces in your energy or in your favor. There it is. People in your favor trying to find something, but you're still fighting this energy. You're trying to find balance in your life somewhere. But at least the card says, I am in divine flow. So hopefully you find it next year, child, okay? And you're finally going to break into bloom. You're going to find some liberation and understanding. Because there's a break coming. There's something here about past lives energy coming through. So maybe some of you are carrying like some harsh lessons or karma from your past lives and it's like affecting your year, your life, your livelihood. And like I said, that's not my wheelhouse. I don't know how to stop that, help that, fix that. You got to find something more powerful than tarot reading on YouTube, child. Yeah, because this ain't it. Okay, so here we have destiny. There's something in your life that's supposed to keep happening. So you learn something. This reading is so difficult. It's upsetting me, honestly. Here we have the sun. And the sun is just like, if you're still even watching, honestly, because 41 minutes of this BS, I would be upset too. Because what is this? What's going on? We have the sun coming through. So there's going to be like I said, a peak in the clouds where it's going to make sense, understanding. That's one thing you need to know. This will all make sense one day. It's giving Olaf. This will all make sense when I am older. something, this will all make sense. And it's kind of like, the older we get, the more things don't make sense sometimes. But we hope that it will, right? I think that was a little bit of the inside joke in that song. Like, this will all make sense when I'm older. And we still hear older, still nothing making sense. But anyway, we have Gemini. There's something here about communication. I think you need to talk to someone about whatever you could be going through, these dark times or these dark thoughts, okay? Or these dark themes, the betrayals, the constant betrayals. It's kind of like you're not learning your lesson. Okay, I'm gonna leave it at that. And then here we have the self. You have to focus on you. And then Libra, find some balance, right? So your being, your sense of self, who you're becoming, your destiny is all themes of your next year, okay? And also your sun sign can be important in uncovering that, whatever your sun sign may be, because the sun sign is who you are at your core. So who you are at your core is like battling against who you were conditioned to become or something. There's a darkness and a lightness is going on here in your life somewhere. And I feel like there's someone else could be pulling the strings with Nemesis coming out, right? Let's read about this girl. I don't even have the book with me. Jesus Christ. Now, you know, when I went to go get the book, because it was in another room, and I was coming back and I was still singing the song from Frozen, it's giving me how in that movie, Frozen 2, when Olaf is singing that song, everything is dark, everything is cloudy, nothing is making sense. Literally what he says in the song. But it's giving me how that whole movie is about them trying to find hope and some kind of answers to something, right? Because something collapses, the kingdom collapses in the beginning of the movie, and they're going into this forbidden forest trying to find answers to why the town is acting up, why is the magic acting up or something like that. And they do find answers, okay? But that's kind of what I'm getting. You're in a forbidden forest, you're in this wood where you come in and you're kind of trapped until you break the curse of what was happening in that forest, right? The people were stuck in the forest for decades until Anna, Elsa, and all them came and broke the curse and tried and found answers for what really happened in their life, you know? So it's something here about digging deep, the darkness inside of you, figuring out where it came from, overcoming it. I had to get up and leave the reading and come back and find some clarity. Somebody need to get up and go somewhere and come back and to find some kind of, you know, answers to this. But that's what I'm getting, honestly. That Frozen 2 movie, there could be some answers in that movie for you guys. There could be a message in that movie for you guys. But like I said, it started off with the kingdom of Arendelle falling because the magic was acting up, which led Anna, Elsa, and the whole town to this forest that was like shrouded in fog and mystery and mist. It took them going in there, finding a whole people, a whole different culture, and then figuring out where their magic really came from and the origin story of Elsa, all that kind of stuff. And it took a bunch of that, and that movie was full with a bunch of like confusion and pain and grief that you have to deal with. And that could be something you're dealing with right now, because Lord, I'm telling y'all, this reading here. Anywho, so 𝐓𝐈𝐌𝐄𝐒𝐓, the goddess and muse of tragedy. Yeah, that makes sense. Jesus. One of the 9 Musai muses, 𝐓𝐈𝐌𝐄𝐒𝐓, that's how you pronounce her name, I think, is the goddess of tragedy and lyre playing. Okay, so risen, its failure, collapse, defeat. As the goddess of tragedy, seeing 𝐓𝐈𝐿𝐄𝐒𝐓 in your reading is not usually a good omen. It may signal a painful ending and an unexpected one at that. Sad goodbyes are indicated with this card, along with severing ties. So moving forward, absolutely, that's death coming through here. And in doing so, you focus on the past or coming to peace with your past instead of running away from it. 8 of Cups in reverse, yeah. You're going to find some clarity. So there could be something here about you, like, not even revenge, just like not forgiving someone. And that's like clouding your whole life. And that's something you're going to have to keep, you're going to learn one day, or it's going to keep affecting your life. It's kind of what I'm getting, you know? Wow. Let me not even get into that kind of energy. Whew. Forgiveness is not for you. It's for see, look at that. Forgiveness is not for the other person. It's for you. It's for you to find some peace and move on. So it's something you're holding on to. Like I said, you're stubborn and nothing's going right in your life. And you're like, oh my gosh, what's not going right? Something. I can't tell you what it is. This is a general reading, but you need to get it together. Like I said, you need more than a tarot reading, okay? You need an exorcism. Guys, group 3, y'all are stressing me out, honestly. Jesus. You have to find some kind of balance here with the yin and yang. Okay, I'm done. I'm going to leave the reading right here. There's nothing more I can really say, honestly. But yeah, you don't have to do everything by yourself. It's coming through as well. There are people in your life who want to help you. 6 of Cups, 6 of Pentacles. Okay? Okay. I hope this reading resonated. If you're still watching, let me know if it resonated and how it resonated, because Lord. If you want to join memberships, I have that available now on my channel. You can find a link for that in the description box below, right above the timestamps. If you want to book a reading with me, you could always do so using my email in the description box below. But I do hope you're having a beautiful, wonderful day. I hope you have a good year, at least. There were some good parts in here, but also some parts you need to get together, for real. I hope your year is great. I hope you find the answers you need, please. And I'll see you in the next one, guys. Bye. Mwah. Later.